Hello everybody, good afternoon and welcome to the United Stand. It's the big one. It's Ten Hag versus Potter. It's Manchester United's trip to Stamford Bridge in what promises to be an absolutely fantastic game. I hope it delivers. I really do hope it delivers. I'm sure many of us are hoping that Manchester United will get the result and a kick-start. And I tell you what, I think I'm pretty confident anyway coming into this game, but I'm pretty confident with the team news coming in as well. You might have seen Manchester United side leaked a bit early, about an hour and a half early actually, but basically it's the same team that played against Spurs on Wednesday night. But as I pause it on the screen for you there, you can see that there is one big addition. What are your thoughts on that? Get involved in the chat. Thanks to all at the United Stand, especially you, Mark, for making every day a better day with your show and personality, says 2LPC. Thank you very much. Favourites FC is back, says to Captain Monopoly. Ericsson gets the start. Let's get the win, says Billy. Look, we'll talk a little bit about Chelsea in a minute, but you know what? Let the manager manage. I think it's the most important thing. Let the manager manage the team because he has to make the decisions. I get it. I think the fact that it's a divisive decision probably makes it more interesting. Fred played fantastically well against Spurs. Manchester United played fantastically well against Spurs. And Fred gets dropped for Ericsson. It's always going to be a pivot. It's always going to be a big point. I'm glad we're talking about that and not Ronaldo, can I just say. So it's a big decision. It was a big decision that we spoke about in the preview on Thursday. And we've been talking about it ever since. I think from the final whistle on Wednesday, it was a big talking point. Ericsson has played very, very well since he's come to Manchester United. But Fred was superb on Wednesday night and he is dropped. That's the sort of decisions that maybe at Manchester United we're not used to that sort of a big decision. Greedy says, how are you doing? I'm excited, mate. I hope you are as well. But look, I get it. There's going to be some people saying that Fred should have started. There's going to be some people happy that Ericsson started. For me, it comes down to the two things I've mentioned before. I think if you're going to pick Fred, you're going to pick him to try and do what we did against Spurs, and you're going to try and press them high up the pitch, which I think looking at the Chelsea lineup, you probably could do. If you go with Ericsson, you're going to accept that you're playing away from home, and when you get the ball, you've got to look after the ball better. So I logically can see what Ericsson's what Ten Hag's done. He's picked Ericsson because he's better on the ball, and it makes that midfield stronger. It's favourites FC, but Ericsson's our best player, says Robert McCormack. So yeah, I don't disagree with Robert. What decision would I have made? You know what? It's a tough one. It's a really tough one. I've always said no. Now the interesting thing to bring in here is that I actually agree with Ten Hag bringing Ericsson in, even though Fred was superb on Wednesday. But it's a complete contradiction to what he did with Casemiro. Because Casemiro should have been in that team sooner. And Casemiro doesn't come into the team because Ten Hag says publicly McTominay's been playing well. So he kept Casemiro out of the team for a month to pick McTominay because the team was winning. That's what Ten Hag said. The team puts in its best performance under Ten Hag and he drops Fred for Ericsson. So there are mixed messages there. I don't think it's anything that the fan base will be concerned about. I'm not concerned about it, and I don't think the players will be concerned about it. But it is a contradiction. The funny thing is, I agree with it because I think McTominay should have come out of the team for Casemiro straight away. You know, it's like having beans on toast for tea or having steak. Like, Casemiro should have gone into that team straight away, regardless of how McTominay was playing. And that's exactly what we're seeing here. Fred's played well, but you're out the team because Ericsson's better than you. That's what we're seeing. I don't have a problem with that. And, you know, what if you picked Fred today and he played like he did against Newcastle? And everyone will say he should have picked Ericsson. So I think he's made the safe choice. I think he's made the right choice. But it is a little bit contradictory to what happened with McTominay and Casemiro. I agree. It's nice to have good problems, says Miles. Like what to start, says Miles C. Exactly. Issue with me is what happened to not changing a winning team. And I knew a few people would be like that, J. Dot. And you're not wrong. He did say that about McTominay with Casemiro, as we know. Freddie's generally shit, though, says Nick P. Get to the point, Nick. I get it if you play well, but let's have some standards at least. Fred is still Fred. Yeah, and that's where I come at from this, Nick. I think we played so well on Wednesday night, and lots of people would say you shouldn't change a winning team, but then at the same time, Fred is Fred. The one thing Fred is not is consistent. So he is going to drop a shit performance at some point. why wait for it? Just get out. I mean, at the end of the day, no matter how well we played on Wednesday, you've got Fred, who's ridiculously inconsistent and can be so bad that you're down to 10 men. And you've got Eriksen, who's better than Fred and way more consistent. It's not a hard decision to make, really, is it? Agree, Mark, but Eriksen established the players in this case. He was just 6 as Billy. And we aren't going to go and press them, as we said before. So Eriksen's an obvious pick over Fred. Tight defence and a nervy 1-0, says Kurish. I agree. So let me just give you the United subs. We know the team. It's De Gea, Dalot, Varane, Martinez, Luke Shaw, Casemiro, Eriksen, Bruno, and then you've got Sancho, Antony and Rashford as the front three. The bench consists of Hayton, Lindelof, Malacia, Fred, McTominay, Pellistri, Iqbal, Alanga and Garnacho. The interesting dynamic of that bench to me is that, all right, Lindelof's experienced, Malacia's come in, you've got McFred. I mean, that bench is basically Lindelof, Malacia, McFred and a load of youth. That's our bench. So Garnacho, Alanga, Pellistri, Iqbal, all our attacking options are young. We are so dependent on Rashford, Sancho and Antony tonight because that bench is young. And we know why. Martial's not fit again. Ronaldo's suspended. And we were quite short up front anyway. So you've basically got McFred. I mean, and who can complain? At the end of the day, I know that Fred and McTominay have done better this season. But if I'd said to you back in February, we'd be going to Stamford Bridge in October and McTominay and Fred would be on the bench, you would be having a party. So let's not start pretending that, it's a bad thing that they're on the bench. That's probably where they should be. Anyway, that's the Manchester United lineup. Next thing we're going to look at is the Chelsea lineup. So let's have a quick look at that. As you can see, you should be able to see it on the screen. Let me get it going. There it is. Chelsea lineup on the bench. So, we've had a super chat coming in from Daniel. It says, I suppose McTominay had 3 or 4 half-decent games in a row rather than Fred's sporadic performances. Yeah, you might be onto something there. So, the Chelsea lineup, as you can see, they've got Kepa, Azpilicueta, back 5 again, Thiago Silva, Cucurella and Chalobah, with Chilwell left wing back. Then they've got Loftus-Cheek and Jorginho and Mount with Aubameyang and Sterling. No Kovacic, he's on the bench. Conor Gallagher's on the bench. Havertz on the bench. Pulisic on the bench. Ziyech, Broha. They've got no Fofana, of course. Chelsea got the better bench. I think Chelsea have the better bench with options like Broha, Ziyech, Pulisic, Havertz. Kovacic, Gallagher, they've got the better bench, but I don't know that they've got the better first 11. So it's squad against first 11s here. I think we've got the better first 11. I think that Chelsea side's gettable. I do. I think it's gettable. Famous last words, call it what you want. I think it's gettable. And I don't know why the timer's running. That's an interesting concept. Let's get that stopped. Yeah, I think that Chelsea side is gettable. And I think Manchester United have to go there to do that. How long until we start the game, says Greedy? 50 minutes. It kicks off at 5:30. There are other Premier League games going on at the moment. Everton are beating Palace 2-0 and Man City are beating Brighton 3-1. Surprise there. Yeah, I mean, I think that Chelsea side is very gettable for the 4th time. Can you call my partner, Latavia, a prat? It's date night tonight, says Rayhan. You're not getting anything either. Don't call them a prat before date night unless it's a word they like that gets them. I nearly said something else then. Chelsea got a slow defensive line. Definitely going to be a lot of long balls, says William Benbow. I think we'll play very differently to the way that we played against Spurs. But look, can I just say, Chelsea are better than Spurs. They're a better footballing team with a better footballing manager. Conte is a better manager than Ten Hag and Potter based on his CV. But in relation to football, Chelsea will try and play some football. It's a tight ground at Stamford Bridge. And Potter, very early in his time at Chelsea. But, I look at that Chelsea side. I think Chalobah, pretty inexperienced. Cucurella as a centre-back, you can get at him. Loftus-Cheek in the middle with Jorginho, you can get at that. Aubameyang and I'd fancy our centre-backs against them. Chilwell and Azpilicueta. I mean, I just think Chelsea at the moment are very unpredictable because I don't think they have much of a pattern going yet. I think it's a real opportunity for us tonight to go and get a result, and I'm expecting a result. I'm expecting a clean sheet, 1 or 2-0 to United. Why not? I may have started Fred, get a lead at half-time and then bring on Eriksen to shore up the midfield in the second half. Might do it the other way around, Matthew. And could have dropped Sancho, moved Rashi to the left, Bruno false 9 and Eriksen in midfield with Fred and Casemiro, says Sean. There's no way he's not going to put Rashford through the middle, is he? But Sancho, you're right though, Sancho needs to have a big game tonight. I think Sancho's a player that's really, against Spurs was pretty average. He was one of the only players that was, pretty average in that game. So we need a big game from Sancho tonight. This is a bad Chelsea lineup, to be fair, says Ray. I think Chelsea are very unpredictable. Potter they've not lost a game under Potter. They've not lost a game under Potter, Chelsea. I can't remember what I said in the preview, but I'm pretty sure that they've won 3 and lost 1 in his Premier League games, and drawn 1. So they don't concede many goals. I think it will be quite a tight game. Random fact, 30 times Chalobah has started. Chelsea haven't lost, says Connor. Interesting random fact. And Owen says, hello Mark, I think Ten Hag might made the right choice with picking Eriksen. Freddie's not reliable and not consistent like you said. Look, Owen, the obvious thing for me is, what's a better midfield? Casemiro, Fred and Bruno, or Casemiro, Eriksen and Bruno? And that's the bottom line, isn't it? What is the better midfield for Manchester United? One thing I just want to feed in here, which I think is quite interesting. Let's just pin it and take it and pause it. Look at the Premier League as it stands at the moment. Manchester United, this is current as it stands. Manchester United in 5th with 19 points. Chelsea in 4th with 20 points. Liverpool have already played. Newcastle have got to play Spurs. Forget Brighton, they're losing. There's a definitive top 7 at the moment fighting for top 4. Newcastle will probably fall away, maybe they won't, but I think there's a definitive top 7 now. I think we're starting to move away from, this is the greatest Premier League season ever, anybody can beat anybody. I think we're starting, now it's coming towards the end of October, we're starting to establish, after 10 games, how this league is going to go. And I think you can definitely see a top 7 fighting for top 4. Look, obviously Man City and Arsenal at the moment are fighting for the league. I think the other 5 teams, ourselves, Spurs, Chelsea, Newcastle and Liverpool are now fighting for 4th. And if we could win today, that would put us into 4th place, 2 points clear of Chelsea, 6 points clear of Liverpool, and it would be our first significant away win under Ten Hag against a top 6 side. So that league table is something to really keep an eye on, because I think that Manchester United tonight have a really big opportunity and we can't snooze on it. I wouldn't say we're going to, I don't want to disrespect Chelsea. I wouldn't say we're going there as favourites. No, I don't think anybody's saying that. But I do think we are going there with a real chance, more chance than we've ever had in a long time at Chelsea. And I know we've had good results there, but I feel that we're going there. They're going through transition. We're going through transition. But maybe we're a little bit more settled than they are at the moment. Why would we take Fred out when he's playing decently and after the performance against Spurs, says Maddox. Currently 2:30 a.m. in Melbourne. Love the content, Mark, says Julian. Big shout out to the Australian Massive as well. You know, love it, love it, love it. And everyone around the world, to be fair. I remember Sir Alex changing the midfields every week for a good while. Park, Fletcher, Anderson, all important to rotation success, says CB. Great point as well. Pranks, I'm not even going to read anything like that out. So he's basically just having a pop at Ronaldo. Very brave of you on a keyboard, isn't it? And the relevance of it is what? Ronaldo's not playing. I don't think anyone really wants to talk about Ronaldo that much. Everton are beating Crystal Palace 3-0. Dwight McNeil, get in. I like Dwight McNeil. Anyway, yeah, look, rotation is something that Ten Hag himself has spoken about. So rotation is very important, yes. Hi, Mark. Who is your number 1 striker in this summer? Mine is Kane and going for a win. 2-1 United, says Michael. I don't want Harry Kane. Sumi's been a member for 2 months. He says, we need this win. Come on, lads. Diwa has been a member for 5 months. A big problem with United is we have great game and then drop off. Yes, dear, you're very, very right. Chelsea's back 5 are quick, says Parth. This would make it difficult to sneak a pass over the top to our forwards and force us to build from the back, says Parth. Yeah, I think there's a tactical element to what you've just said there, Parth. I think people will be quite lazy in their analysis and say, well, Thiago Silva's nearly 60, he's really slow, and Rashford's quick. But Cucurella's a fullback, he's quick. Chalobah's quick. Kepa's good off his line. I don't think there's going to be a lot of opportunity to hit a ball in behind. I really don't. And I think Chilwell against Anthony and Azpilicueta against Sancho are battles that we need to win, but we might not win. So it will be really interesting. Dallas! Dun, 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 Dallas! 3-0 to Solihull Moors. Andrew Dallas, 85-minute penalty. They were down to 10 men. 3-0. Get in the bin, Eastleigh. Solihull Moors massive. 3-0. Dallas. Dun, 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 dun. Brilliant. Get in. That's my local, really. Just down the road. Is United in for Kalanoglu? I think it was about a year ago, Hampers. Thanks for all the super chats today, by the way. You can do that through the $sign. If you want to be a member, if you see people with a badge next to the name in the live chat, they are members of the United Stand Members Club. You can do that by clicking the join button. And Mr. Darkside says, I thought he'd lost it. Yeah, I took context to that song. I was just reacting. Yeah, you can click the join button and join the members club. Thank you very much. Chris Judge has been a member for 7 months. He says, I've got a good feeling about today, Mark. I know that's a rebuild and there will be losses in future, but I'm in a really positive place with this team. I think there is a good feeling about the team. There is a good feeling about the team. And look, the Ronaldo decision by Ten Hag is obviously a massive decision. But I think that in a footballing context, Fred out for Eriksen is more significant into what we're doing. The Ronaldo situation will take care of itself. You know, it was shocking, but I actually prefer to talk about Fred out the team for Eriksen and what that means for our future, because I think it's bigger. Jack Brown says, our back six, De Gea to Casemiro is up there with any back six in football at the moment. I'm confident of clean sheets. Yes, Jack, yes. Eriksen and Casemiro over McFred all day, says Charlie. We're going to get played off the park. Look, I don't dispute the fact that Chelsea might play good football, but I'm massively intrigued about this game. I'm a massive fan of Potter. Obviously, Ten Hag is my manager. The players are responding to him. Chelsea are trying to find a new way of playing. I mean, this is a huge test for Chelsea as well, by the way. This is a massive test for Potter, and it's a massive test for Ten Hag. I think it's so intriguing. It's the sort of game that, I don't want to say it, VAR, referees, it's the sort of game that could be, you know, very, very pivotal in relation to that. But I think Potter has surprised me in a certain way. I mean, if you look at that Chelsea side, which just disappears just as I'm about to say it, typical. I will get it back for you. Okay. Why is it not doing that? Yeah, if you look at that Chelsea side, I think that, you know, it's not like they've got loads of injuries. I would have played Kovacic. Kovacic is on the bench. I'm not a big fan of Loftus-Cheek. So, you know, he's got to put in a good performance for Chelsea today. Potter really seems to like him very well. I think Osimhen would really suit Ten Hag's style. I can see what you mean by that, Luke. Yep. And also, good morning, Mark. Cheers from the US. Why do you think Erik Ten Hag era feels different than the previous manager, says Wan? I don't think it does, Wan. I don't think it does. I remember, I think that's just recency, which you get. It's the recency bug and you forget the past. Jose Mourinho first few months felt really exciting. Even Solskjaer's first few months felt exciting. I think the thing about Ten Hag is that makes it a little bit more exciting is that he's the fans' choice. You know, I think every other manager was sort of chosen by the club. Van Gaal was, you know, I don't remember there being a big shout from the fans for Van Gaal. Solskjaer there was, Ollie's at the wheel. Mourinho, there was a little bit to a certain extent as well. You know, he apparently sent the love letter wanting the job. But with Ten Hag, because everyone, you know, all the ex-players were saying Poch, the press were saying Poch, you really felt that they were going to go with Poch. And Reading, 2-0, Andy Carroll, Paul Ince, big win there. Yeah, I think there's a lot of attachment to Ten Hag because we felt that he was our choice and that we were so vocal about it as a fan base that maybe the club took it into account. Mark, I haven't been this excited about a player, Anthony, since Ronaldo. Mark, also I have subscribed for the channel membership. Go Manchester United, says Maddox. Thank you very much and appreciate that. Interesting question there from Laser. He says, who's the better player, Malacia or Shaw? Well, look at the starting lineup, mate. I think at the moment it is certainly deserving of that Luke Shaw starts at the moment. And it's a big game for Luke Shaw today because obviously Chilwell starts for Chelsea, Luke Shaw starts for Manchester United, so it's that battle for the England left-back spot. Potter versus Ten Hag in 3 or 4 years could very well be the second coming of Pep versus Klopp, says Jack. And I tell you what, mate, Jack mate, I really do think that if any Chelsea fan or any United fan could take that now, we would collectively, if we all had to sign up for it to happen, that Ten Hag and Potter in the next 3 years are going to be the new Pep and Klopp, we'd all sign up for that, wouldn't we? Because it would mean Chelsea and Man United back on top. My friend supports Chelsea and insults Manchester United, says Greedy. Is Potter's Chelsea playing different Potter's Brighton? Given that we lost against Brighton, is this an opportunity to show improvement, says Marcel? I don't think you can expect any manager to replicate what they did at another club for years at their new club in weeks. So the best example is, and why I think this is so exciting, is because Potter at Brighton over many years played such a good brand of football with players that were really inferior to most other top 6 sides. What always impressed me about Brighton, and we had quite a good record against Brighton United, but every time you played them, they had the confidence to play out from the back. The midfield were confident enough to play with their back to the opposition and play through the press, etc. But Potter's only been there a few weeks. Now flip that to Ten Hag and the way Ajax played. We're not playing the way Ajax played. Spurs game a little bit more than we ever have. But Ten Hag's been at that club since May, training since the end of June. We're still not playing anything like we did against Ajax. So Potter's not going to get Chelsea playing like Brighton like that. Ten Hag's not going to get us playing like Ajax like that. It's going to take time. And that's the intriguing thing about tonight's game. It's going to take time. Good question though, Marcel. Hi Mark, hope you're well. How do you see this match being played out tactically, Jacob? You know what? I think as a pure guess, with Eriksen playing in the game, as a pure guess, I think that it will be pretty 50-50. I think it will be quite an equal game. I don't see either side dominating. I don't see what happened against Spurs. I don't see Spurs being the away team and Chelsea, creating chance after chance after chance and us living on the break. But on the other hand, I don't see us dominating Chelsea and creating loads of chances compared to them. I think it'll be quite 50-50. I think the logical prediction is a draw. And it's very obvious to say a draw is the most likely thing. Apparently Chelsea haven't beaten us since 2017. So there's lots of reasons to be confident about this game. I hope it's a good one. There's something about Stamford Bridge I always like, even though it's never been a happy hunting ground. I remember United getting turned over, and if anyone knows the year, let me know. It must have been, God knows, it could have been... I remember Scholes got sent off for kicking, was it Chris Sutton in the back? And we lost 4 or 5-0 or something like that. And he booted him in the back. I'm sure it was Chris Sutton, and I know it was Scholes. And I'm thinking it could have been 98, it could have been 2001, it could have been 2000. But yeah, I do remember us getting smacked up. At that time, I think they had people like Jody Morris playing. So, hi Mark, if you could add one legend of the game to play in our current team, who would it be? From United, Mr. Pip. Yeah, I'd probably go Roy Keane. Hi Mark, hope you're well. Thank you very much for that, Jacob. We've done it. The only problem with Eriksen is I feel it puts too much of a load on Casemiro. Bruno likes to get high up and it makes the midfield so open, says Myron. Well done, Mark, says Ronnie. I'm just having a look in the chat to see if anyone can remember what year it was. I don't think it was 99. I don't remember us getting smacked up like that in 99. Chelsea beat United 4-0 when Conte was manager. But yeah, Stamford Bridge, I always say that we never get anything at Stamford Bridge, but I think we've sort of changed that in the last few years. We've had quite a few draws, haven't we? But it used to be a really difficult place for us to go. But I think there's a real opportunity there today. And it's a good time to play Chelsea because even the Chelsea fans understand that it's the start of something that they didn't expect to actually happen so soon. I mean, Tuchel was well liked there and he's gone now. 2001 was apparently when it was. And it was Nicky Butt who was sent off. There you go. I've got the wrong player sent off. Mark, I'm watching from Puerto Rico. Big hugs, says Gabe. Thank you very much. Hope you're doing well. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner to do it. You're all very, very welcome on the United stand. I think it's going to be a cracking game. And hi, Mark. My good friend is getting married. His name is Bips. Do you have any advice? Isn't he a prat? Says Omka. Marriage is great as long as it's to the right person. You know, it's like supporting the right football club, isn't it? It's a miserable time if you do the wrong one. Same with marriage. 99-2000 was the 05 at Chelsea and Sutton deserved it, says DJ. But was it Butt or Scholes who got sent off? I thought it was Scholes. Yeah, thanks for subscribing, Josh. The reason I say please do subscribe is we're only 100 away from 513,000. So please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Yeah, very welcome. Do you think we can get top four if we spend in the winter like Gakpo and or Frimpong? Hey, you know what? With the results of Liverpool today losing to Forest, and you know Henderson had a very good game on loan from United at the moment. With the result there going our way, I think that top four at the moment, as things stand now, and we've not kicked the game off, so it might look very different in a couple of hours. But right now you look at it and you go, yeah, all right, Man City and Arsenal look very strong for top four. We've just beaten Spurs. They don't look all that. I suppose the question is, how good are Chelsea? So yeah, it's top four is. I don't think we'll get top four. I think it's way too early to say we're going to get top four. I don't think we will get top four. But you look at it at the moment and you go, all right, Arsenal, Man City, but who else? We're going to play Chelsea tonight. If we beat Chelsea at Stamford Bridge and we've just beaten Spurs at Old Trafford comprehensively, you've got to put us in, you know, as one of the favourites for top four because Liverpool are miles off. So that's how significant this game is tonight. Of course, if we go and get turned over 2 or 3-0, and we look well off it, then you start going again. The inconsistency is going to be the problem for Man United. Hi Mark, loving the show. Let's go United. And remember Dumb and Dumber in Barcelona, then the highly acclaimed sequel in Turin. Glazers out, says Famous J. And also, Waleed has been a member for 7 months. He says, I'm happy with the team selection. Considering Ronaldo is suspended, if the players were up for it, we should see a good result. Love from Yemen. Big up, pal. And it was 5-0 at the Bridge in 99, but kicked wise. I'm sure somebody kicked Sutton. I'm getting old, you know. I'm around the area. But yeah, just a reminder, I know the carousel's going round. The match stats are obviously nothing at the moment because the game's not started. You'll see the Chelsea team, you'll see the current league table, and you'll see the United team in a moment whizzing past me on the left. But, of course, somebody mentioned the R word. The R word is Ronaldo. And as we know, Ronaldo has been left out from this game. You may well have seen Rio Ferdinand's comments earlier on, sort of saying that communication needs to be better and, you know... Look, everyone's entitled to opinion, and I think it's great when people have different opinions. But really, you know, Rio's Ronaldo's mate. He probably wants an interview from him. It would have been nice if a player who's played for the club and won things came out, and I'm talking about Gary Neville, Roy Keane, Scholesy, the lot. You've got to come out and say, it's not about communication. It's not about, I can sort of see where he comes from. It's bang out of order. It's bang out of order. I love Ronaldo, but it's bang out of order what he did on Thursday night, because I look at the bench tonight and I go, Palestri, Elanga, Garnacho and Iqbal. And Ronaldo's fit and sat at home. It's bang out of order what he did on Thursday, because he should be here tonight. And if Rashford has a bad game or he gets injured and we lose, you know, it's because we haven't got any options up front. And we haven't got any options up front because Erik ten Hag had to suspend a player who ignored his action and walked down the tunnel. So I'm sorry. I know people are mates with Ronaldo, and you know it's teammates before anything, but it would have been nice to see Rio and hopefully other players come out and say he's bang out of order. I love the player, but he's bang out of order, and it's cost United tonight in relation to our options. I don't know why people have to come out and defend him. In the sense of, you know, I've seen a lot of people coming out talking about the emotional damage of, you know, coming back to Manchester United and not getting Champions League football. It must be really, really hard. I'm sure it is very, very hard, but it doesn't make storming down the tunnel understandable. It was, when you think about it, it was amazing what he did. It was beyond disrespectful, and he's apologised, and Ten Hag wants to move on, and I think the fans want to move on, but there are no excuses for it, and I think it's irresponsible when people start making excuses for it. I don't think Ronaldo's making an excuse for it. Spurs is irrelevant. They scraped points so far, Nelly, and that hits home for me a little bit more tonight when I look at that bench and I go, fucking hell, we've got nothing up front. We've got nothing on the wing, and we've got nothing up front apart from kids. Peter, thank you very much for the super chat, and welcome to the Members Club. Welcome to Josh as well. You can do that by clicking the join button. Hope you're well, says Jacob. We've done that from Jacob. It's hanging around. So yeah, look, I think this is a game to look forward to, and I hope it's going to deliver, because I really don't want it to be another false dawn for Manchester United as well. You look at the Spurs game, and that needs to be something. Dougie's right. Ronaldo accepted the consequences, and now we move on. But yeah, it'd be so disappointing if United get turned over comprehensively by Chelsea tonight. It could happen, but it would be so disappointing, because that Spurs result for me needs to be more than, Solskjaer used to do it. You think he was going to get the sack, he'd get a couple of results, but the football was never good. We've just pulled out a really good performance against Spurs, and I want us to go and do it at Chelsea. And even if it's a draw, I want us to come away from it and go, yeah, you know what, that was a really good performance, and we need to build on that. And I think Bruno's key. Bruno's been pretty average as far as I'm concerned for quite a few months now, but he was very, very good against Spurs. I need to see that Bruno again. What we don't want to see is, one step forward, one step back with United, and we keep saying that. So I'm really hoping we see a consistency tonight. Cheers, Mark. Love from Vietnam. Seems Liverpool have the same problem as Man United. Losing Thiago equals losing nuclear reactor for chances like Ericsson, says Sylvie. And the disrespect Ten Hag and our club is showing to Cristiano is not right, says Coldblood. My conscience and my soul would never allow me to turn my back to Ronnie, our player of the year that gave us so much. I don't think anyone's turning their back on Ronaldo. I think people are getting confused here between loyalty and what's right. Ronaldo is a legend of Manchester United. Roy Keane is on Sky. I'm sure we're going to get a quote. Ronaldo is a legend of Manchester United. But I tell you what, I love my wife. But if she goes outside in her bra and knickers and starts washing my car with gravel, then I'm not going to be very happy. It's disrespectful. Nobody else should get to see my wife in a bra and knickers. And what are you doing scratching my car up with gravel? It doesn't mean I don't love her. It just means I feel I've been disrespected. People just have to make things all about extremes. I disagree with what Rio said at lunchtime. I disagree with what Coldblood said there. I love Ronaldo. He is a legend of this football club. But blind loyalty is wrong in life. It's wrong. I see it all the time. In this industry, I see it all the time. Such and such says, you're a knobhead, never met me. What's that all about? So Ronaldo was wrong on Thursday. He deserves to be punished. He deserves to be suspended. He caused it. Do I still love the player? Yes. Do I think he's a legend of the game? Yes. Will it damage his reputation at Manchester United? No. Should he be suspended? Yes. And look, I love Roy Keane. He's on the screen now. And Roy Keane could be saying, you can't do that. It's a joke. Or he could be saying, it's a ridiculous thing to drop Ronaldo. But look, if Roy Keane, in his prime, said to Sir Alex Ferguson, I'm not coming on, and I'm walking down the tunnel and getting in my car, sorry, Roy, you're getting suspended for a game. I don't get what people's problem is with what Ten Hag's done. He had to do it. John McGarry says Scholes refused to play and was also suspended for a game. If you're in charge and someone damages challenges your reputation publicly, you've got to react. You've got to react. I fear modern managers doesn't know how to rotate equals rest their players. It shouldn't be brave to use the squad, but these days it is. Managers refuse to care about the players because they fear to lose, says David. Can we see the lineups? Yeah, I don't know why they're not whizzing round. Thank you very much for saying that. They'll start coming round now. There's the home team. You'll see the United team in a minute. It's a challenge to authority, says Emma. Yeah, look, I don't want to dwell on it because we are where we are. We don't have Ronaldo today. But what I do want to do is defend the manager because I think he's done what everybody should do. Massive win for Everton today in Thesis. Yeah, massive win. Really, really big. Please do subscribe to the channel. Bottom right-hand corner. We're only 50 subscribers away from 513,000. Thank you very much for tuning in, everyone. The Glazers need to go before they finish the club. They have it on their knees. Ronaldo has more going on than just Manchester United, says Michelle. And Keane is speaking facts. I'd need to see what the quotes are. I'm sure they'll come out. And do you know how to do the Hokey Cokey, says Gaz FM. I know the song. The only reason that people are reacting about Ronaldo about this is because he's Ronaldo. If it was anyone else like Maguire, no one would care. And yeah, okay. And thoughts on Eriksen starting over Fred, says MKTV. Well, it was the big news when the team came out that Eriksen's starting over Fred, but ultimately I don't have a massive problem with it. I think it's probably the right thing to do, considering the circumstances. I think it is the right thing to do. I think, you know, Eriksen's a better player than Fred. He's more consistent than Fred. The only decision really was whether you stick with a winning team or you go with your better team. And I think what's happened is we've gone with the right team. I do think Eriksen's the right one. It was close. But I do think it's the right decision as far as I'm concerned. Erik Ten Hag has just spoken about it. This is a direct quote. He says, "The performance from Fred against Tottenham was magnificent, but also I cannot ignore the perfect performances over a long period from Christian Eriksen." And I think that answers the question for you quite nicely, doesn't it? That is probably the right thing to say, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know what anybody else thinks. I'm on TalkSport tonight. Okay, I'm just going to retweet it. Roy Keane has said this. "Everyone was saying after the Spurs game it was Manchester United's best performance in years. Absolute rubbish. Spurs were terrible." I could, you know, I should have been lip reading. I really should have been lip reading because I could tell he wasn't happy. I could tell he wasn't happy. What's he saying about Ronaldo? I'm just trying to get you these quotes now. Yeah, Roy's obviously not very happy about what's been going on. Loves Ronaldo. Would probably be blindly loyal to him. Graham Potter's been talking as well. He says United's front three will give us a problem. The full width of the pitch. They're a top team and a team in a good moment at the moment. There you go. But Roy Keane, everyone's saying after the Spurs game it was Manchester United's best performance in years. Absolute rubbish. Spurs were terrible. But you know what? Is there not a contradiction there? Look, I don't care who I'm talking about. Roy Keane's one of my favourite ever players. He's a legend. But I don't have to agree with everything he does. I didn't agree with him when he said it was a good tackle on Luke Shaw when he got his leg broken. And I don't agree with him about that. One of Man United's best nights in the Champions League was when we smashed Roma. Roma were probably shit that night. Doesn't mean we weren't good. Surely to have one of your best performances in a few years, the opposition is probably not going to be that good because you dominate them. So I think there's a little bit of, I don't know where Roy's coming from there, because we sat and watched the game together and I felt that Man United were absolutely, you know, fantastic on Wednesday. Spurs were very disappointing, but I think we would have given anybody a problem, bar probably Man City. I think there's only one team that could have given us a problem, maybe Arsenal on Wednesday night if we'd played like that. So, you know, that just comes across as, I don't know what that's all about. But remember, Roy wanted Diego Simeone as our manager, a guy who plays with 40% possession. Hi Mark, hope you're well. Thank you, Jacob. I know you want to back the manager, and yes, what Ronaldo did was wrong, but do you feel Ten Hag has treated him badly and disrespected him? After all, who is Ten Hag and who is Ronaldo? All the best, says Gunner Station. Well, Erik Ten Hag is the manager of Manchester United, and the manager must always win. Loving the show, March. As much as I love Ronaldo, anyone who is on the wrong needs consequences. Hoping we turn up again today, says Dan. And hey, Mark, hope you're doing well. It's really been a tough week for me, and let's hope United get a win today. Love from Malaysia, says Shawish. Yeah, so look, I think that I think we did play well, and I don't think that we can, you know, just ignore the fact that we played well because you Roy says that Spurs were rubbish. I mean, Spurs were rubbish, but you've still got to go and do what we did. And I think the game plan, was absolutely spot on. I really do. And I'm confused as to why we can't, be complimentary about it. But one thing I would say, and I think a lot, I'm happy to say it was a very good performance against Manchester United on Wednesday night. But my big concern, if I'm absolutely honest, is how do we perform tonight? Can we be consistent tonight? That's probably a bigger thing for me than dwelling on Wednesday night. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how it goes. Another quote here from Ten Hag. He says, obviously Fred and Eriksen are different players, but it's the same position. Christian may have been our best player in the opening games of the season. There you go. There is also, let me just see if I can listen to this. There is also something I just want to listen to here. See if I can hear it. Players have done a lot worse at Manchester United, says Roy Keane. It's not a competition about who's done worse. Should he be suspended for a game for what he did on Thursday night? Yes. Move on. I condemn Ronaldo's actions, but we all know he has been disrespected since Ten Hag arrived at the club, and that's a fact. That's from Cold Blood. And nice work, Mark. Can't watch games due to being at work whenever United plays, so hearing the game from you is great. Regards from Australia, says Cahan. Thank you very much. And what you the headline is going to be tomorrow, win or lose, says Unruly. Well, we'll do it. You know what? On that, we'll do a little bit of a poll. We'll do a bit of a poll. We'll do a bit of a result poll. I'm going to go with a Manchester United win. I think Chelsea look gettable. I don't think they look vulnerable. They've had a very good record, a very good run, but we've had the better result on Wednesday night. They drew at Brentford. They're at home. I mean, I think it's got a draw written all over it, to be honest with you. But I don't think we can afford to lose this game. Not because our season's over, but I just think, we can afford to lose the game and still finish top four. But I think in relation to where we're trying to be, you can't have a result like Wednesday and then go to another shit result tonight. I think we've got to put in a good result. There's Potter's results. He beat Palace, he beat Milan, he beat Wolves, he beat Milan, he beat Villa, and he drew with Brentford. They've hardly conceded any goals. It's going to be a good game. What are your pre-match thoughts, concerns? Says Joshua Bowwater. Thanks, Joshua. Hope you're doing well. I don't really have any concerns. I think Chelsea are a good side. I think we're a good side. I think it's going to play out, and we'll just have to say it and wait and see what happens. But I can see the flanks being important. I think Sancho against Azpilicueta and Anthony against Chilwell. If we can win those battles, I think we win the game. Important to remember that Chelsea beat AC Milan home and away without conceding, scoring 5 goals. This won't be easy, says Jack. No, I have confidence in the way we're playing at the moment. And Dev says, for the first time, Ronaldo is out of form and the person to credit is Erik ten Hag. Dropping him initially to accommodate Rashford and continuously ill-treating him. Should have sold Ronaldo if he isn't interested in him, says Dev. And I think people are milking the Ronaldo situation. He'll be back next week scoring goals. The only people making this big deal are the fans, says Joseph. Mark, we did brilliant against Spurs. Hopefully we do today. And then we have beat Liverpool, Arsenal, Spurs and Chelsea. It is a statement day, Mark. I think we've got a big statement to make. Erik ten Hag did the right thing, but I think he is a hypocrite and a liar. I don't think Ronaldo denied to get in. Ronaldo is warming up until he sees that he's not playing, says Alec. And we made them, Spurs, look terrible. There's a big difference. I don't know what Keane is on, says Storm. Also, we've had another super chat come in. Why can't people like Roy realise that maybe Spurs were crap because we made them crap? We played phenomenal all around the pitch, and end of discussion. And do you think, that's from Jack, and Carl says, do you think Eriksen signifies we are going more attacking or that we will sit deeper and use his passing? I think we'll be more reserved, Carl. I think we were very much on the front foot with Fred against Spurs. I don't think you can necessarily do that at Stamford Bridge. I think we'll be more reserved. I think it'll be more of an equal game. And Sean says, this Ronaldo has been disrespected is bullshit. He's not entitled to start. And Ronaldo disrespected Ten Hag and the fans when he refused to come on. Look, I think what we're getting here is we're getting some ex-players like Rio and Roy coming out and sticking up for their mates. Fine. We saw it with Solskjaer as well. They stuck up for Solskjaer and they were wrong. I think they're wrong on this, but it's their mate. I get it. And you've got fans saying that Ronaldo's been disrespected, Ten Hag's been disrespected. The bottom line here is, forget who the people are, Ten Hag or Ronaldo. Ten Hag is the manager. He manages the team. He asked the player to go on. He said no, walked down the tunnel and got in his car and drove home. I don't care if you're Ronaldo or bloody Messi or whoever. That's bang out of order. That's disrespectful, right? Maybe Ten Hag did disrespect Ronaldo. I do not know why Marcus Rashford is starting up front over Cristiano Ronaldo. That to me is a no. Sancho's not playing well. Rashford's better off the left, and Ronaldo's a better striker than Rashford. So I agree. Ronaldo should be playing up front and Rashford should be on the left. And it's not like Rashford's scoring all these big chances, is he? So I agree that, in my opinion, I would play Ronaldo up front and Rashford off the left. But I'm not the manager, Erik Ten Hag is. And even if you think that's disrespectful not to get picked, you don't refuse to go on and storm down the tunnel. He's had a 3-day suspension. He probably will be back in the squad next Thursday against Sheriff. I don't see the problem with him being suspended. I mean, the alternative is, what does everybody want to happen? Ten Hag says it's fine for him to walk off the pitch and leave. He's in the matchday squad in 2 days' time. You know the headlines the other way. Ronaldo runs United. Ten Hag's weak. Ten Hag's done exactly what he has to do as a manager. You have to. When a player walks down the tunnel and publicly humiliates you, you don't just go, that's fine, you're in the matchday squad. You've got to suspend them. So I don't really see where we're going with this. I know you hate early calls, but I feel if we win this game, we're looking like top four, says Cameron. We quickly forget Ronaldo lost his child at the end of last season, says Eric. He isn't the same since then. These live events can change a person. Still wrong for leaving early though. Keep up the good work. Eric, I completely agree with you. You know, if you want to bring personal life into it, that's a massive event, isn't it? Of course it is. And he was back playing within a few days. But you've hit the nail on the head. You know, he's played a lot of games since then. He's scored goals since then. He's played badly since then. None of that makes it excusable to do what he did. If he speaks to Erik Ten Hag and says, look, that event that happened with me losing my child a few months ago has messed me up in my head and I'm fine, I'm doing things I don't mean to do, I'm really, really sorry, then I'm sure Erik Ten Hag would say, look, that's absolutely understandable. I have to suspend you because of what you've done. I've got to put the law... none of us know what the private chat is, but I'd argue with anybody that the punishment is absolutely spot on. Absolutely spot on. Mark, if Ronaldo was asked to come on in the 85th minute, isn't that disrespectful? We said it was disrespectful to Donny when Ollie did it repeatedly. Says Silva. Yeah, but look, we're going around in circles. Is it disrespectful? Maybe. Is it disrespectful to refuse to come on and leave the ground? Of course it is. Hello, Mark. Happy Diwali from India. Love the channel. Do you think Rashford can adapt to being a number 9? I mean, I think this is a conversation I want to have, Abhishek, because for me, Marcus Rashford as a number 9, I prefer him off the left. But this is a big opportunity for him tonight. I mean, part of me thinks he's been missing so many chances, he's going to score a couple of goals tonight. Another part of me thinks he's going to have a very frustrating night against very good centre-backs who will pocket him. So let's see. I'm really tired of the player dramas these past few years, says Chris. And Runa says, people are forgetting this isn't the first time players have left the match early this season and got a warning for it. Exactly. And Mark, how do you feel about swapping Anthony and Sancho to get more crosses in, says Cameron? But who are we putting the crosses in? 2. Like, there's not really much point in putting a cross into the box at the moment because Marcus Rashford's crap with his head. Ollie didn't have the balls to stand up to players, fans complained. Erik Ten Hag stands up to players and fans complain. Look, you're never going to please everyone, David, but you make a good point. Stratos says, if you don't suspend Ronaldo, it shows the players that you don't have control. Exactly. I love Ronaldo. I wish he was in the team today. I wish he was starting. You know what? If Ronaldo wasn't suspended, I'd have started Ronaldo up front and put Rashford on the left today. I want Ronaldo in that team. You know, I don't think Sancho's played that well. I think there's a lot of pressure on Sancho tonight. But he's not playing, and I understand why he's not playing. Thoughts on Trossard, Mark? Look good all season and would definitely provide a decent backup on both left and attacking midfield positions, says Mike Thomas. He's a good player. He is a good player. And Joseph says, if United would have played out at the Park against Spurs, don't you think the player ratings would be higher? Only Casemiro got an 8, just food for talk, says Joseph. Yeah, but I think you're right, Joseph, but I still think it's probably one of Manchester United's best performances because I know, and you know it, from doing the player ratings all the time, how how often Man United players are getting below a 6. It was one of our better performances, without a doubt. Got a few more quotes to bring you here. I'm just going to read them out for you. So this is from Roy Keane. Okay, we're going to go through it now. He says, I try and see it from a player's point of view. Ronaldo obviously had enough and he's lost his head. I think it's been brewing over the last few weeks, but I will still try to defend him. He's a human being and he's got flaws. He feels frustrated, he's not been getting the opportunities and he's had enough. He's walked down the tunnel, players have done a lot worse at Manchester United. I think it happens, it's human nature. I'd be more worried if Ronaldo was sitting on the bench laughing his head off and not caring. I think the guy cares. This game is full of bluffers and he's not one of them. People say he's not the player he was 10 years ago. Of course he's not, but he was leading goal scorer last season for United. You see, everything that Roy Keane said there is absolutely spot on, but it's lacking the most important thing, and it's disappointing. Everything Roy Keane has said there is spot on. You've got a player who cares, who's frustrated, who wants to play. I get all of that, and I agree with all that. But where is Roy Keane or Rio Ferdinand saying that you can't walk off down the tunnel, get in your car and drive home, because that's disrespectful to the manager, the players, and the fans, and you have to be suspended for a game for doing that? I agree with Roy. I want to stick up for Ronaldo. Many people want to stick up for Ronaldo. We love Ronaldo. We understand his frustrations. Yes, 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 yes. But if you're going to say something publicly like that on mainstream media, why are you not saying the suspension is correct, though? You cannot do what he did. Because to me, it just sounds like everyone's going, it's fine. It's fine for a player to refuse to come on, walk down the tunnel, get in the car and drive home. We're Manchester United. It's not fine to do that. I don't care whether you're Ronaldo, Roy Keane, Rio Ferdinand, Gary Neville. It's not acceptable to do that. And that's why he's not here today. Hopefully he's back next week. I don't know why people are struggling with the whole he's suspended today, because if the manager doesn't do that, he's weak. Valverde's better than Giggs. Beckham, Keane and Scholes, the skeletons, who asked. And hi Mark, what happened to Jay United Stand? He's been saying a lot of stuff on Twitter. Says Rahul, don't know. I'm not involved in who goes on the forum or who comes on the channel. There's people who do that job now. So I don't run the Twitter. I don't do anything of that. I have a very busy life doing my own content. I'm not involved in anything like that. So stop trying to draw me into it. Jack Lynch says, I respect what Ronaldo has done for Man United, but no one is bigger than the club and examples and standards need to be set. Well, yeah, Ten Hag said it all. Ten Hag has said it all, hasn't he? Anyway, this is flown by. We're getting very close to the start of the game. The media went mad when Maguire got in trouble in Greece, but Ronaldo lost the child and gets nothing. Eric Ten Hag wants to play Rashi into form, but won't give Ronaldo a chance. Gummy, I think we're going round and round now. You're throwing things about Maguire in Greece. You're talking about, personal issues for Cristiano Ronaldo. You might be right. You might be wrong. I don't know. But can I just say this? Nobody can give me the answer. Are you saying Ronaldo should be starting tonight? We can all argue about how it happened, why it happened, who was respected, who was disrespected. But when you walk down the tunnel and you get in your car and you go home, there has to be a consequence. It's the second time he's done it as well. There has to be a consequence. I don't care whether you're Gummy on the live chat or you're Roy Keane sat on a studio for Sky. Second time it's happened, cannot happen, has to be suspended. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I want him starting up front for Man United. But the manager has to do that. Otherwise, they lose control. Hi, Mark. Hope you're well. How do you see the match playing out? We've done that from Jacob. What happened? Okay, we've done that from Rahul. Rizzy, welcome to the Members Club. He says, thanks for your daily work, Mark. You make my day better. Thank you, Rizzy. Keane also got booted out and is still bitter towards Sir Alex, says KMD. How nice is it to finally have a genuine DM? Hope he shines tonight. I'm really enjoying watching him. Says Swift. I can't wait for this game. Part of the problem is the presenter not having the gumption to ask Keane, so do you condone his behaviour? Exactly, Rory. They're bottle jobs. Fucking bottle jobs. These ex-players of ours, they are legends, but they don't get held accountable enough. We saw it with bloody Solskjaer. Why are you sticking up for a manager that's not good enough just because he's your mate? It all started in the Castle match when Ronaldo was subbed while bad playing. Fred was on the pitch. When Ronaldo had a reaction, Eric Ten Hag had to show off by asking him to come for last 5 minutes against Spurs, says Dev. Do an Eric Ten Hag impression to get the fans fired up, says George. And Mark, what would be your all-time Premier League five-a-side? I ain't got time for that, PT. 5 minutes before the start of the game. The thing is, I can't even do an Eric Ten Hag impression. I can't do it. I simply cannot do an Eric Ten Hag impression. because I really don't know how to do the Dutch accent. All I know is that Erik ten Hag does little noises in between when he's talking like that. I know he does that, but I don't know any. I can't do his actual accent. He just does that a lot. Anyway, look, we're about ready to go here. I'm getting really excited about this. I think it's going to be a Saturday night thriller, hopefully. Look, even if it's, you know what, actually, we say it's going to be a Saturday night thriller. It might not be a Saturday night thriller, but I think what it will be is a really, really good game. I think it'll be a really, not necessarily a good game. I think it'll be a really tense game, is what I'm trying to say. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I hope you are as well. What's going on here, then? Okay, that's fine. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. Hope you're all doing good. You're all very, very welcome. It's going to be a huge, huge game, this one. And it's Manchester United, trip to Chelsea. The players are coming out onto the pitch. Obviously, Chelsea looking good under Potter. Manchester United looking good under Ten Hag. You know, which way is it going to go? I'm going to go 2-0. I'm going to go 2-0 here. I tell you what, there's a lot of pressure on this game, though. But every game for Manchester United's pressure. But, you know, if we don't lose this game, should have picked Ronaldo, should have picked Fred. But what a load of bollocks. But I think that Chelsea team is gettable. If you work in retail and snap at a customer after having a bad day, you face consequences, says Giuseppe. And also, Peter says, 5 minutes from kickoff, lads. Pipe down about Ronaldo. Support the boys you're watching. Good point. And thank you very much for the super chats there. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. We're only 50 away from 513,000. So please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner to do that. Manchester United against Chelsea. Let's see. I think the first few minutes are going to be key as well, because they can set the agenda for the rest of the game. You know, how's it going to play out? Who's going to get on top? Is it going to be Manchester United? Is it going to be Chelsea? Who has the better opening? Mark, your Ten Hag impression is almost there. The grunts need a little more gravel in the Dyche style, says Nick P. Huh? I don't know. Huh? I don't think they do. I don't think they do. Right, let's get ready. Teams are on the pitch. We're good. You're good. Everybody's good. There's the league table. Manchester United have the opportunity to leapfrog Chelsea with a result today. Will they do it? Can they do it? Let's hope they can. Love you, Mark, but I think Chelsea have got this, says CFC. Please subscribe to the channel, bottom right-hand corner. Oh, God, even Sky are putting up bloody clips of what United's point tally is with and without Ronaldo. I mean, it's just bloody stupid, isn't it? It really is silly. Let's go. Where's my timer? What's the time, Mr. Wolf? It's time. It's dinner time. It's dinner time. There's Ten Hag. There's Potter. Dylan, thanks for the super chats. Make sure you share the video if you're watching, by the way. Click the share button. Share it about on your socials. You're very welcome here on the United Stand. 5:29. You know what happens at 5:30? We get dirty on the pitch with our shorts. Get some tackles in. Imagine if you said that in the dressing room. At 5:30, we get dirty. They'd take it the wrong way. Filth. Ronaldo is stupid to always listen to his heart. He should have not left the pitch when disrespected, says Dev. And Man United is the product that we are all loyal customers of. If someone is a customer of Ronaldo products, that's a different story, says Taraz. Well, some people are, yeah. You've got to respect that. Right, let's go. Referee, don't know who it is. Not really taking a lot of interest in it. Don't really want to know who it is. The game is up and running. The clock is on the screen. When you hear the button, don't forget to scream. I'm going to stop them rubbish rhymes now. We're good. We're good. So United have the ball. This is Man United's first game against the big club outside of Manchester. The city doesn't count. I want to see how they play under these circumstances. There's Tamba. And United starting off quite well here. Delo. Right. Let's have a look at these first 30 seconds. Come on. Gone out for a throw. Neville's been soft on Ronaldo as well. You know what? I think... I get it. We saw it with Solskjaer. They don't seem to want to say anything negative about people that they've played with. You know, maybe it's a dressing room code or something. But I also think if you want to go on public TV and get paid a lot of money, people don't want to just hear, oh, you mates rates. People don't want that. The Solskjaer thing was so frustrating week in, week out. When you've got all these people who are happy to gob off about absolutely everything, from football to politics. They're gob, opinionated. But when Man United are playing trash week in, week out, they don't want to say anything because it's their mate in charge. I just think, you know, we deserve a little bit better than that. Like, I don't know why nobody can come out as an ex-player and say, I love Ronaldo, I want him back in the United shirt, but when you do what you did on Thursday, there has to be consequences. And move on. Move on. I played the game. Luke Shaw coming down the left-hand side here. This is going to be a big battle. Azpilicueta and Sancho. I'm telling you now. Azpilicueta against Sancho. But I do think it'll be quite a 50-50 game. I don't think we're going to... I think you'd be very ridiculously naive to come into this game and expect it to be like it was against Spurs. We're playing at Stamford Bridge. We're playing against Potter. Very, very different style of football. Away from home, we are not, in my opinion, going to completely dominate Chelsea in the way that we dominated Spurs. I think it's going to be quite a 50-50 game. And I think we're going to have to be patient in that sense. And I certainly think, you know, it might be the sort of game where one team gets 2 chances and another team gets 2 good chances and you've got to take your chances. I mean, I'd love it if United do get more chances than Chelsea, but I'm not totally expecting that, to be honest with you. I love the fact that Erik Ten Hag is stamping his authority, says Jack, who's been a member for 12 months. Thank you very much. And foul by Anthony on Chilwell. Yeah, I basically have highlighted, and it doesn't mean I'm going to be right, but I've played the game and I've highlighted two areas. No, I've highlighted 2 areas before the game kicked off, where I think will be key. People always say win the midfield battle. I agree to a certain extent, but I think that these midfields may well cancel each other out. So I really do think where the game could be won and lost is down the flanks, because Chelsea play a back 5, so Chilwell and Azpilicueta are very, very important to them, and Sancho and Anthony are very important to us. So I think whoever wins those battles, big part to play in the game. What's your score prediction? I'm going 2-1 United, says Ryan. I'm going 2-0. Stuart Prattwell is the ref. Be prepared for a very stop-start game, says Joshua. Martinez goes back to De Gea. Nicely into Casemiro. Playing out from the back. Good to see. Varane, this is good. And Anthony, I think he should have won the foul there, to be fair, ref. I'm on Talk Sport tonight at 8 o'clock, by the way, if you want to call in. Chelsea or Manchester United fans, or even Liverpool fans if you're not in hiding. 8 o'clock tonight on Talk Sport. It will be on YouTube as well. Call in on national radio. We've gone on that after I've done my match reaction. Long throw to Sterling in the bottom corner. He's done quite well to keep it in, but good cover there from Casemiro, and Delo will clear it. But it's exactly as I thought it was going to be in the first 5 minutes. Intense, no one's really getting on top. So, yeah, exactly what you would have expected in the first few minutes here. I like Cucurella as well, Mantra. I mean, I liked Cucurella at Brighton. I mean, it's just another player, isn't it? Another player from Brighton. I tell you what, though, I was absolutely stunned by Basuma on Wednesday night. I mean, what have Spurs done to Basuma? He was crap. His first touch was crap. His carrying of the ball was crap. His tackling was crap. I mean, that's a player that at Brighton, you know how good Basuma was at Brighton, and he was a ghost of his normal self, wasn't he? Interesting though, look at Chelsea putting the press on us there. We've played through it quite well, and Anthony tries to run at Chilwell, goes out for a throw-in. Interesting battle there between Chilwell and Anthony already, and I think it will be a key one. Why do you think he's gone for Eriksen over Fred, says Darren? Because Eriksen's a better player than Fred. I think he's changed his opinion of picking a winning team, and he's gone for a team that he thinks is better. I love how well Delo has done in his comeback, but I worry he looks tired and overplayed, says Ryan. A lovely ball by Casemiro here. Chalobah gets stuck under it. It's Sancho. Yeah, I mean, Delo has played 4 90-minute games in nine days. Played 90 minutes, more or less, against Ammonia. I think he did play 90 minutes. Played 90 minutes against Newcastle, 90 minutes against Aubameyang's down the left side here. Martinez puts the cover in. Cross isn't very good. Goes out for a throw-in. Yeah, so he's played 90 minutes against Newcastle, 90 minutes against Spurs, and he's now going to play 90 minutes again. It's too much football for Delo. But Wan-Bissaka is coming back now, so hopefully we can start to give Delo a little bit of a rest. Because I think he will be going to the World Cup as well. Aubameyang at Chelsea's a weird thing, isn't it? It made a lot more sense when Tuchel was there, but obviously Tuchel got the sack because obviously they were together at Dortmund. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. Exactly the sort of start to the game I thought it would be. Always anticipated that this was going to be tight. You could almost say 2 evenly matched teams, managers, and we're the away team. So, but this is good to see. We're not just hitting the ball long, looking to pass out from the back. Terrible pass by De Gea, but Eriksen picks it up. Casemiro, that's better. This is good. Look at this from United now. Lovely little phaser play to get it to Luke Shaw. He's going to shoot, and he shoots wide. Good play that. All starts from a bad kick by De Gea, but Eriksen wins it back. 3 or 4 passes. Casemiro, Bruno, Eriksen, Luke Shaw drives forward. Not really anything going on ahead. I mean, look at the movement of Rashford there. It's poor. Number 9, and he's just stood on the edge of the box. But Luke Shaw, I think he's right to shoot. I think he's right to have a shot there. Tenor goes like that. Yeah, I think he's right to have a shot there. It was a good phase of play from United, though. First touch. I mean, God, gone are the days. Remember those days where crab football, side to side, everyone takes a little touch. McTominay and his bunny hop. We're actually moving the ball first time, and that's why we get so much space. Defenders find it so easy to defend when they're looking at teams in front of them. Have a look, pass, take a touch, pass. You start moving it first time, defenders get pulled out of position. And we're seeing that a lot more with United now. Chelsea, not really done anything yet. Neither have United in and around the box. It's very much a midfield battle at the moment. Aspilicueta's just gone down here with an injury. Looks like I think he's just gone into the back of Sancho's head. Nothing deliberate about it. It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. But he's all right. Obviously, Reece James looking like he's going to be out of the World Cup. I like Reece James. I think he's very, very good. But Aspilicueta back in the team, captain for Chelsea. I was talking about that this afternoon, actually. You know, like club captains who don't play a lot. Aspilicueta's won things with Chelsea, hasn't he? I mean, Gary Neville used to be club captain, didn't play a lot. Harry Maguire's our club captain. Somebody was saying to me, Denno, on the watch-along on That's Football, do you think we should change the captain? And I'm like, well, no, Ten Hag's made him captain, but it is a bit of a nice ball into the right-hand side. Anthony's got a bit of space to run into. Cucurella's not slow, though. He's running back with him. Anthony, onto his left foot. You know what he'll do? He'll lay it off. Ericsson, the referee, get out the way, ref! Get out the way! Referee gets in the way there. Ericsson would have been running onto that, and the bloody referee stands in front of it. It's so irritating, that. But Anthony still has it on the right-hand side. Lays it off for Bruno. Should have crossed that in first time. Refused the cross. Goes back to Anthony. And, yeah, you've got to whip that cross in. Are we reluctant to whip crosses in today because we've got Rashford up front? Could be a bit toothless up front today. If we're going to refuse crosses into the box like that, really good play by Anthony. Gives it to Bruno. He looks. He knows he can hit the cross in first time, and he refuses. And we end up with a throw-in. Why are we not whipping that cross in there? We're going to be toothless up front if we're going to just keep looking for the long ball over the top. Put it in the mixer. Both teams sort of cancelling each other out at the moment. Yes, I would agree with that. Although I'd say we've been slightly more progressive so far. We can't afford to be we can't afford to be toothless today. Hey, Rashford's made a lovely run here. Oh, couldn't find him. Now Shaw into Bruno, lay it off. It's got to be worth a shot. Anthony takes a shot, corner. Surprised Kepa put a hand on that. Obviously lost control of where his angles were, because I think when Kepa gets his hand on this, it's already going very wide. I'll have to see it again. Worth a shot from Anthony, you know, just make him know that you're there. Might have been going in, actually. Let's have a look. From behind, I tell you what, it's a good save by Kepa. It's going in. Good save. I thought it was going wide. Corner's taken quickly. Sancho whips it in. Oh, where's the head on that? Goes for a goal kick. Clever little routine from United here. Sancho whips it. And to be fair, Varane didn't make... was it Casemiro, actually? Casemiro didn't make the leap. And Loftus-Cheek. That should be a corner. Or is he giving a goal kick? I think he's giving a foul. Good start this, says Nico. Yeah, it's been I think we've been the slightly better side so far. As I say, I think this Chelsea side is gettable. Good run by Aspilicueta, though. Now, they don't refuse the cross. Oh, brilliant defending by Varane. Brilliant defending by Varane. That's a bloody great cross as well. I think it's Mason Mount. I mean, Aubameyang is basically going to get a tap in. But, you know, that's the difference between Bruno and Chilwell there. Sorry, Bruno and Mount there. Mount gets the opportunity to whip a cross in, and he does it. We've got to put those crosses in as well. Check out how Ericsson and Bruno are so much in front of Casemiro. Last time I saw that was when Carrick played, to Sharath Kamath Fitness. So Chelsea with a corner. They're good at corners. Cross comes in. Flicked header. Edge of the box. Cucurella goes back to the keeper. Brilliant block by Varane, says Dougie. 15 minutes gone. There will be chances for Chelsea. And look, we're not going to completely dominate this game. Let's be real about it. You know, Chelsea, the home side. Potter's a good manager. They'll have their phase of play as well. But good to see players with no fear on the right, says Skids. Oh, Chilwell. Of course, they have got a player through the middle in Aubameyang who will be more than content to get on the end of crosses. Hello from Kurdistan, says Sarkil. Hello. Nearly 40,000 watching. Make sure you share the video, smash a like and all that jazz. 0-0 here after 15 minutes. Exactly 15 minutes now. 15 minutes, exactly, yeah. And intriguing first 15 minutes. I would say that United are probably just about shading it, but not in a way that makes you feel confident that there's a goal coming. Sancho's got to win that battle against Azpilicueta. Got to win it. 3 big battles for our front three. Rashford against those centre-backs. Anthony against Chilwell. And, as I say, Azpilicueta against Sancho. He's got to win that. Casemiro running. Anthony with all his body movements making me laugh. But that defence, you know what I keep saying about this in the match reaction, and I want to say it more in the game. That defence centrally of Casemiro, Varane and Martinez, they will concede goals because nobody's unstoppable. But they do provide us with such a platform, don't they? You know, they're, unlike in previous seasons, you really do see, you know, a confidence to that triangle that it makes us very hard to score against. Bruno, it's got to be worth a shot. No. It's a good ball. Sancho lays it off to Bruno, into Shaw. What are we going to do? It's going to be offside, Sancho. I do worry about the front three tonight. Chelsea's defence ain't stupid. I think a couple of times now, in fact 3 or 4 times, we've made our way to the Chelsea penalty box and then it just dies. Too many passes, says Ruven. Exactly. I think we've done really well in getting the ball to the edge of Chelsea's box. But so far, we just look a little bit nervous when we get there. But it's been a good start by United. I still fancy us 2-0. "17 minutes gone. Hey up. Why is that pass on there? Why has Azpilicueta got all that time there? You can get at that midfield as well. Jorginho and Loftus-Cheek. I tell you what it ain't. It ain't Kovacic and Kante. You can get at that midfield. We've got to get at that midfield. A few people saying Rashford needs to get involved more. I just don't think Rashford's a striker. I mean, he might get the goals tonight, but I think there's more to a striker in the modern game than, you know, scoring goals. I know that sounds stupid, but you've got to be involved in other passages of the game. Haaland scores a lot of goals, but he does a lot of things when he doesn't score goals as well. He's making the runs, he's holding the play up. You know, we do need our front three to be in this game today. Stats. They should be spinning around. Like Kylie. Let's have a look. Yeah, we've had 64% possession and double the amount of passes. So, yeah, we're the more progressive team at the moment. God, there's Reece James. Green hair, green coat. Yeah, those balls up to Rashford are just not going to work. Thiago Silva's going to win them all. I think we're getting more joy down the left-hand side than we are the right-hand side at the moment. Bruno does well there. After this game, we've played all of the big 6, and if we win, we've won 4 or 5 of them. Surely we should get top 4 this year. Long way to go, James. It would be a statement win, though, if we can do it. I think all United fans feel that this could be something. But I feel that we've started this game the better side. Whatever happens, I think in this first 20 minutes, we've started the better side. And Chelsea back with their keeper. I mean, they're not doing much, Chelsea, are they? Eriksen's looking a bit rusty, says George. I'm not worried about Eriksen. I mean, look, you can pick Fred, and if he plays like he did against Newcastle, we're in big trouble. Like, we have got 64% possession at the moment, and we've played double the amount of passes Chelsea have played. So, yeah, He can be as rusty as he likes. We're still the better player. Sharath says, drilled ground passes are the modern crosses, Mark. You don't need to put regular crosses. Rashford movement is terrible. He always wants the perfect pass. Here's Anthony. Good weighted pass. Sancho doesn't keep it in. Goal kick. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. We are on the road to 514,000. Everybody's welcome on the United Stand. We're only a couple of hundred away. Bottom right-hand corner to do that. And Chelsea with another goal kick here, just passing it out from the back. And look at this press from United again. Right in their own half. We've won it back. It's simple, isn't it? When it works, it works. Chelsea had a goal kick. We've won the ball right in the final third. Right in the final third. That's impressive at Stamford Bridge to have them penned in their own half like that. You can't argue with that. What's going on with Sancho, says user. Well, I'll tell you what's going on with Sancho. He's not been particularly good anyway. Right, there's a chance to whip a cross in here from Eriksen. Let's put it right on the keeper. Right on the keeper's head. Here's Sancho up against Sterling into Rashford. Nice ball out wide. Anthony, he's having a good game. He's given the free kick. I'm surprised. Take it. Might be worth having a shot from here, Rashford. It might be just about the right sort of area to hit it. Bruno's there first. It's a good... I mean, it is a foul, but this is what you get with Anthony. Rashford's around it, Eriksen's around it, Bruno's around it. How's your Saturday going, mate? Says Big. It's going all right at the moment. Liverpool have lost. Man United have started off reasonably well here. They were shooting too much last game. I think Ten Hag told them not to shoot as much, and I think they took it too literally, says Ian. I think Rashford's going to hit this. Paid almost 200 million for two wingers who both don't put in crosses, but nice to have a real manager, says Brian. I've said this about Rashford before at Chelsea. Why is he on the free kick? He never scores free kicks. No, fuck. Doesn't work. The juice is gone. Mark, why is Fred not starting, says Desmond? Because we've started Eriksen. I presume you would have preferred Fred, but I'm happy with Eriksen. Mark, are you getting worried about Sancho, says Matthew. I wouldn't say I'm getting worried. I've been quite consistent. When was it Sancho got dropped? It was the Newcastle game, wasn't it? No, he must have started against Newcastle. Was it the Everton game? I think he got dropped against Everton, Sancho, didn't he? And then somehow he got back in the team, and I don't think he really did enough to get back in the team. So, look, for me, Rashford should play on the left and Ronaldo should play through the front until Martial's fit. I don't think Sancho justifies a starting place over the last few games. He has to start tonight because we don't have anybody else. But I expect a lot more from Sancho, I've got to be honest. I don't think we... here's Rashford running from the left. And surprise, surprise, he's good. That's where he's at his best. But here's Sancho now. Now, can we jinx him a little bit? No, corner. I asked if Ronaldo and Erik Ten Hag could be the same as Zlatan and Pioli did for Milan. I think Ronaldo gave us the answer, says Thomas. All set pieces hit short so far because Rashford can't head the ball, says Rory C. Paid almost 200 million for two wingers, says Brian, and they can't cross the ball. I don't think it's they can't cross the ball. I think it's why would they cross the ball when you've got nobody in the middle to get on the end of it. Every corner's short. Another one short. But we've got Chelsea pinned in at the moment. They're not really doing anything. Here's Bruno. He'll have a shot, you know. No, he didn't. They're all offside there. Kepa's just given up a corner. Cheap corner here. Ericsson's on it. Will we whip it in? Is he going to whip it in? Because every corner's been a short corner so far, and so is this one. Here's Sancho. Lays it back. We've really got Chelsea pinned in their own half at the moment. Ten Hag ball is beautiful. I wish people would trust this manager instead of question every selection. Well, I've just said it there on Twitter. I've said, look, we're away from home against Chelsea. We've got them pinned in their own half. But the front three just aren't on it yet, are they? Midfield and defence are on point. That's why we've got them pinned in. But the front three need to do more. Definitely. I mean, Chelsea haven't had a phase of play in ages. And you know what? It's going very similar to the Spurs game at the moment. We're making Chelsea look really bad. Pie and chips was lovely. Absolutely lovely. Possession stats will be going round in a minute. Look at this. Swamping Casemiro. We've got to force something. Rashford. Oh, Kepa with the save. Got to score there. Again. But it's a great press from Manchester United again. This Chelsea side, they're like the dwarfs of Moria. They just cannot get out. Chelsea's midfield is looking very vulnerable here. So refreshing to watch two decent performances back-to-back from United, says Andrew O'Brien. I can't really judge the Rashford shot until I see the replay. They might show it as now. Let's have a look. Here we go. Come on. Show us it. Why are we seeing a replay of Luke Shaw and Azpilicueta? There's nothing in it. Show us the replay of the Rashford shot. Fucking hell. Why are we seeing that? Show us the replay of the Rashford shot. Here we go. So, Casemiro with the winning ball. Bruno into Rashford. This should be 1-0. Kepa's out very fast, to be fair. Yeah, Kepa makes a good save. It's good. If you're a Chelsea fan, you're saying that's a very good save by Kepa. If you're a striker, you're thinking I should have scored there. Rashford is a Poundland, Andy Cole, says Toho. I think he should score. Crap first touch, says Samuel. 78 million for Sancho is the biggest robbery ever. Enough excuses for him. He's just lazy and he's always off the pace, says Sachin. United stand Shopify if you want to get in one of these or the Christmas jumper. I don't think we've put the link in the description today. Oh, I need to close the poll though. 56% went with the United win. And at the moment, you're looking good. 26% with Chelsea. Gary Smith. Half an hour gone. I feel we've been the better team. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong. I mean, I don't think Chelsea have been in the attacking half since they played Brentford. It feels like that. I just can't remember the last time they had an attack. I mean, now they are in our half, funnily enough, Mason Mount, but it's been a long time. For a home side, it's like it's at Old Trafford. I mean, it's very impressive to be able to do this to Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. To be able to just keep control of the ball, win the ball back all the time. There's going to be a yellow card here. Anthony. Referees are Pratt. Anthony is giving him the death stare. Oh, yeah, he did catch him. He did catch him. Yellow card for Anthony. Imagine going from McFred to Eric and you end up dominating the midfield. Amazing, isn't it? Says Jack Ranking. Are we better because both Chelsea and Tottenham play with 5 at the back, says Salim? There may be something in that. You might be right. There might be something in that. Kepa's got the ball here. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Sorry, Mark, I had to go with a Chelsea win. I just have a feeling in my gut, says Jack. You have my permission to banter me if I'm wrong. There we go. Chelsea are terrible, says Furkan. Right, here we go. Rashford's got something. Wait for Anthony on your right-hand side. Good shot. It was a good shot by Rashford, to be fair. Easy save by Kepa, but never been part of the group saying Shaw is unfit, but he looks in great condition, keeping Varane healthy. The backroom staff have improved under Ten Hag, says Ryan. And, yeah, a decent shot by Rashford. Hope you're doing well, says Gustavo. Do you think Potter and Eric Ten Hag are on the same level? Great show as always. Glazers out. Well, at the moment, we're in the ascendancy. We're playing really, really well. Nice ball into Anthony. Where's the options? Options. Oh, it comes back to Sancho on the right-hand side, who shoots straight at Kepa, gets hold of it. Rashford was there for the scraps. If Man United keep showing improvement each game and gain control, points will follow eventually. Lovely game so far, says Neil. Yeah. What is it? Joker?
Yeah, and if you can open it.
What's in it?
It's like cards. It's like a matching game.
Not Snap.
Yeah, and it has superhero cards.
Oh, I bet I'm in there. Some twat in the chat said that the stats colours were wrong when they're right. So I've just spent time changing something that was actually right in the first place. Thanks for that. Thanks for that. Just wasted me some time. Love it. Right, this should be right now. Look at that. Look at the stats. Manchester United here dominating the possession, but Chelsea are on the attack. United defend well again. "35 minutes gone. What's wrong with the keepers against us?" says Said. Looks like there's going to be an early change from Potter here for Kovacic. I would hope as a Chelsea fan that this is tactical because they're getting dominated. Crossed by Azpilicueta. So early sub for Chelsea here. And it might be because Azpilicueta's carrying an injury. I don't know. But I do feel that United are just dominating the ball so much that Potter might be thinking about a tactical change. And it's Cucurella who comes off. They're going to a back four, yeah. Yeah, he's changed it. Panic subs already, says Jay. Well, you know what? I'd say intelligent sub. I'd say I think it's an intelligent substitution by Potter. It's not working with the back five, and they need to get hold of that midfield where they're getting swamped. I mean, not many managers make subs in the 35th minute that are tactical. So, God, we had two who would never do it. Solskjaer, Mourinho. Sancho needs to start releasing the ball more, says Josh. Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens now with the midfield. Varane and Casemiro are having a big chat here. I do feel that we should have got... I mean, one thing I would say, 35 minutes, he's made a sub. We should be 1-0 up from that. Potter knows it. That's why he's made the sub. We've had 6 shots to their 1. We've had 60% possession. We've had 4 shots on target to their 0. We've had 14 touches in the box to their 2. I feel that Potter there has made an intelligent early sub, but we probably should be winning 1-0 with all of that. So, that might be a point that we look back on and go, with that first 35 minutes, did we get what we should have got out of it? Hopefully, we'll still continue to dominate the game. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner to do it. Man United, we're approaching half-time. 8 minutes to go. It's been a very good performance. The Shopify link is in the description, by the way, now. It's been added by Ryan. Thank you very much, Ryan. Second paragraph down. If you want to get one of these hoodies, we do ship worldwide. Martinez with a good tackle. Oh, I tell you what, De Gea was at full stretch. Aubameyang didn't really get hold of it anyway. Probably Chelsea's best chance at the game, and it just comes from Kovacic, funnily enough, feeding it in. Sterling getting a bit lucky, falls to Aubameyang, goes for the shot, and De Gea's got his angles covered perfectly. Yeah, really good half from United. You've got to admit, to come to Stamford Bridge and do this, I think you're talking, you'd expect prime Liverpool to do it, you'd expect Man City to do it, but you wouldn't expect many teams to come to Chelsea and dominate them in their own backyard. United have got this knack of making teams look very ordinary at the moment. That's not a great kick. Here's Sterling. Well up, Varane. Yes. Come on, Bruno. I mean, it's made a bit of a difference. Kovacic going into that midfield has made a difference. I mean, I think that, you know what, Potter's probably thought, I don't want to be going in 1-0 at half time, I'll make the change now, because back 5 really isn't needed against Rashford. You get an extra man in the midfield, makes a difference, doesn't it? We really need to start putting teams to the sword, says Suradi. Well, it was 0-0 against It was 0-0 against Spurs, wasn't it? It was, funnily enough, we're in exactly the same position on Wednesday night, where we felt that we should have been going in ahead against Spurs. We didn't, but then we got a couple of early goals at the start of the second half. So I'm not panicked. It's a good run by Delo. Keeps going. Lovely play by Delo. A little bit unlucky with the pass, but we retain the possession. Ericsson goes with a shot, just wide. Jack Clancy says, Martinez staring down Mount. Looks like he was going to right hook him. Also, Potter is smart, deciding to strengthen the midfield, increases creativity. Mark, what do you think would be a good January transfer window if we spend, says Anthony. And every game you can pick a prat in the chat, says Brian. And Drilled, who've done that one from Sharath Maths Fitness. Thank you for all the super chats. I think in January we need another forward, don't we? It's very obvious. We've got nothing on the bench tonight. If Sancho's having a bad game, there's no one to come on. If Rashford gets injured, there's no one to come on. So we need a striking option. Oh, that's a lovely cross. And the linesman didn't put his flag up. On Aubameyang. Yeah, Himanshu, I'm a big fan of Kovacic. Lovely play by Anthony. Feeds it into Rashford. No, poor pass by Rashford there. 41 minutes gone. We need a striker. We need more options. Yeah, we don't know what's going to happen with Ronaldo. We don't know how fit Martial's going to be. We definitely need more options because I look at that front three. I think Anthony's looked okay. Rashford can be dangerous. Sancho's not playing particularly well again. Who do you bring on? Who do you bring on? I mean, you can't really moan about picking Eriksen over Fred, can you? I don't think it's made any difference at all. I think we've done exactly what we did against Spurs. We've dominated. We've made it very, very difficult for Chelsea to play out from the back. We have created that key chance. I mean, that chance for Rashford, that was the chance again. Same thing happened in the first half at Old Trafford. We created that Rashford chance. Kepa made the save. No, not on Wednesday. That was Lloris. And in this game, Kepa made the save. So, you know, we can't really moan. We've dominated defensively. We've dominated the midfield. We've pressed them high. We've created a big chance. It is 0-0. We just need to keep it going. Here's Kovacic, who's made a difference already, though. I don't like the fact that Chelsea are playing a little bit better now. I suppose it was inevitable. 3 minutes to go to half-time. Potter's changed it, and Chelsea have started to get a bit of a foothold in the game. Nothing massive at the moment, but they've definitely improved in that midfield area. And they've won it here. Watch out for the cutback. Sterling's got time. Aubameyang. Oh, God, I don't know who did what there. I don't know who did what, but somebody did something and it made a big difference. Caught in possession. Sancho again. He's going to get pelters. I think it's probably Casemiro. I think Casemiro on Sterling just gives him a bit of a bot. Well, no. He's late on him, really. The ball's already gone. We got away with it there. Got away with it there, I think. Sancho giving the ball up, though. A win here would be massive and shows the progress, says Vincent. Good tackle here by Luke Shaw. We need to get Real Madrid scout all their scouted talents. Odegaard, Kovacic, Varane, Casemiro balling it in the Premier League, says Anshul. Welcome to Members Club, Anil, who's been a member for 6 months. Sancho's not had a very good half again, has he? But what can we do? Talis says sub off Sancho. For who? For who? A really good half from United. But I do feel that we are carrying Sancho a little bit. Mentioned it before the game. The battle with Azpilicueta. But here we go. We've got him pinned in again here. There's no way out. Well in by Martinez. Second ball won again. Bruno into Anthony. Oh, I thought he'd scored. I thought it was in. He hit it so hard, I thought it was in. I thought it was going along the back of the net. Everyone in the chat thought it was in as well. I thought it was in. Great header by Martinez. Bruno does well, feeds it in, and he hits it. Oh, I thought it was in. Side, just side by about that much. He whacks it wide, and the ball goes moving across the back of the goal, rippling it. I thought it was in. Bastard. Oh. Anna was celebrating. I didn't celebrate as quick as I thought I was going to celebrate because I thought it hit it so early. It shocked me. But look at the press from United again. Good to see. Watch out though. They've got through the press this time. Got to work hard to get back. Good work. Chilwell. And we'll take the goal, throw in there. Yeah, he hit that with his right foot like Lauren said as well. Kovacic. He's playing well. Mark, I don't know what it is, but United versus Chelsea every single season is terribly boring, says a Blue Whale. Well, maybe if you're not a Chelsea or United fan. United games are getting more and more enjoyable to watch, says Cock. And David Bushell, well, thank you very much. Strong play by Delo again. Welcome to Members Club, David. I think that might be half time. It is half time. Well, look, you know what? Man United, for me, I don't think anyone would disagree. The better side in that game. I think Chelsea fans would have to agree with it as well. We came into this game as Manchester United fans confident. Not disrespectful, just confident. And I think that confidence and prediction for the first time in a long time, we're not doing it blind. We're doing it based on evidence. I felt that Man United would come into this game and create chances. I felt that Manchester United would come into this game and not concede that many chances because we're strong at the back and you've got Casemiro in front of it. It's actually gone better than I thought. I thought the first few minutes it was quite 50-50, but I think for the next half an hour until Potter made that sub on the 35th minute, I think United just got hold of them again. The same way we got hold of Spurs. They couldn't get out of their own half. We kept hold of the ball and we created the big chance again. Rashford with a big chance. Anthony with a decent chance. We take those chances. We're 2-0 up. We need to take one of them. But Potter is an intelligent manager. He could have waited till half time. He decided, no, I'm going to go from a back five to a back four now, get an extra man in the midfield. It's made it a little bit more difficult for us, but I still think we create that chance for Anthony afterwards. So look, really impressed with Manchester United again. The only negative point is that we're not winning the game because I think it justifies that. And look, my big praise for it is that we're doing this at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea are not a bad side. Chelsea are a side in the top four. So to go to Stamford Bridge and play like that, it's massively, massively encouraging. And it's so much about the system now. You know, we are starting to see every game an improvement, and we're becoming more and more like the way Ajax played with Ten Hag, where you are pinning teams in their own half. They can't get out, and you know we're keeping the ball and we're moving it quickly. We're pressing as a team. I think it's working really well. We should buy Pulisic off the Chelsea bench and put him on for Sancho, says Uncle Drew. We could change to a false nine with Fred coming in for Sancho and moving Rashford to the left, says Salim. Pleased with how we are playing, but we need a clinical finisher, says Chiri. Mark, is it too early to say that Martinez is the best defender we've seen in our team for a long time? Well, mate, Zua, I don't differentiate between the two. Varane made a fantastically world-class block to put it out from a corner, which would have been a tap-in for Aubameyang. I think they're both playing fantastically well. I think Martinez stands out because he's new, but I think Varane's been brilliant as well. I think our fullbacks have been really good. I think Casemiro's been brilliant again. I think Bruno's been good again. Eriksen, I think we've played really well. The problem with that team is the front three. Sancho just is average again. Rashford's not finishing his chances again. I think Anthony's been good, but it reminds me of the Spurs game. I think the Spurs game, 9 players were brilliant and Rashford and Sancho were just average. Same thing again. The problem is we've got nothing on the bench. We need more from Sancho. If Casemiro, Eriksen, Bruno, Anthony, Shaw, Delo, Varane, Martinez are playing well, you can't just be average. We need more from Sancho. And Rashford's got to start taking these chances. PR of Messi, finishing of Missy. He's got to start scoring. Mark, curious for your take. Do you think Rashford knows he's better on the left? Does he not want to take his friend's spot? It's clear we need Rashford where Sancho is. Kevin, I'm completely with you. Completely with you. Rashford's better on the left. He's scored most of his goals from the left. He's better up picking the ball deeper and running at the back line. He will get chances as a striker, but he's not in the game enough as a striker. We can't really whip crosses into the box. Rashford's not in the game for 10 minutes and then he's running through and having a shot. But I think he needs to be in the game a lot more. Rashford, for me, is better off the left, but we haven't got a striker, have we? We've played so good that Potter needed to change his formation. Exactly, Per. Exactly. So pleasing to see our midfield is dominating away game against Big Six. The last time that happened was against Liverpool with LVG at Anfield, says Abhishek. We do not have a proper striker for this game. Rashford can't finish and always panics whenever he has the ball. This will be tough, says James. And we are in need of a pure striker. It's so obvious that it hurts. The tactical changes between these two managers when wins the last time we had competency, says Mario Franco. Funny thing is, Potter already dominated us this season with Brighton. Shows how much better we've already become, says Jacob. And Rashford to the left, Sancho off, Fred on at 8 and Bruno false 9. I'd do it, RJ, I'd do it. And the good thing about Potter making the change earlier is the fact that Ten Hag will have half time to adjust tactics properly with the team, says Ross. I think Potter had to make those changes because I think he realised he couldn't wait 10 minutes for half time because it would probably be too late. So I think Potter, fair play, not many managers will make a change at home after 35 minutes. And he was right to do it. I think we've got to sign Gakpo. Sancho needs rotation, says Love. And Sancho's been very disappointing for his price tag, thought, says Harry. Rashford hasn't done a lot wrong in that half, in my opinion. Sancho offering nothing again, says Paul Tat. Look, I don't agree. I don't disagree with you, Paul. I just think Rashford's a winger and he's not a centre-forward. I don't know whether he thinks he is a centre-forward, but he's not. I think I've seen Rashford play 4 games now. The last 4 games. Should have had a hat-trick against Ammonia, scored none. Should have scored that header at the end against Newcastle, scored none. Should have scored 2, maybe even 3 against Spurs, scored none. And should have scored this one on the telly now. So Rashford should have 7 goals in the last 4 games. He's got none. Now, he might click. You know what? Maybe he's going through a bit of a dry patch. But that's not clinical enough when we're playing this well. He's got to do better. Funnily enough, his second shot was really good and it was self-created. But I think he does that better off the wing anyway. So, yeah. And it's all about power. There's no precision. I'd like him off the right. I'd like Rashford off the left and a proper centre-forward. But at the moment, what can we do? I don't think you can even take Sancho off. But 2 big chances, Anthony and Rashford. We should be scoring one of those. Should give Garnacho or Palestri a go at this point, says Harry. At this point, surely Ten Hag has to be thinking about playing Garnacho, says Will. And the fact that we've had a decent amount of ball possession is telling us that Ten Hag's system is actually working, says Night Owl. Ten Hag said Ronaldo will be a miss, and he is not wrong. Sancho off, Rashford on the left. Ronaldo up top would be the move right now, says Jordan. And fair play to Delo for his defending. I love our defence at the moment, says Akash. Our defence is fantastic at the moment. They're overloading the midfield. Can't press now, says Vebaf. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. We're really close to 514,000. Get involved with the channel on the United Stand. We're live every night at 8 o'clock, every morning at 10 o'clock. Straight after this, the match reaction is where we do the player ratings voted for by you. I'll drop a link in the description. About 20 minutes into the second half, you can start voting for your player ratings. Mark every player out of 6. Out of 10. 6 being the average. Star for your player rating. Star for your man of the match. I think they're going to be good again. Sancho's been showing a lack of creativity and ideas, worrying when that's what you have been brought in the team to do, says the Riddler. Well, I said it before the start of the game. For me, this game was going to be won by whether we win the wide battles. Can Anthony win against Chilwell and can Sancho win against Azpilicueta? I think Anthony is shading the battle with Chilwell, but I think Azpilicueta is winning the battle against Sancho. So we're cancelling each other out there. We need to win. We need to win both those battles. Sancho's lacking confidence, says Dougie. Maybe. Would you rather sign Frimpong or Davies, says Ryan. And Rashford and speed up front, says FC. Is our depth problem not because of Ten Hag not picking the youngsters in the Europa, says DNA. And Tom says, Mark, completely agree with your opinion on the front 3. I just feel like Sancho is a great player that doesn't suit Ten Hag's system of play. Look, I like Sancho, Tom, so I'm going to defend Sancho. But did Eric Ten Hag sign Jadon Sancho? He didn't. I think we all assume Sancho's going to be a really good player because we spent £74 million on him. But did Ten Hag sign him? No. So maybe he doesn't suit Ten Hag's system. I've heard a lot of people saying we should get rid of Rashford. Just because he came through the youth setup and he's got a big PR and he's got loads of followers on social media, we should get rid of Rashford. He's not good enough. But is that not the same principle with Sancho? Because Sancho is not a signing that Ten Hag made. Maybe Ten Hag really likes Rashford and Sancho's not what he wants because he didn't sign him. So look what's happened with Ronaldo. Look what's happened with Harry Maguire. Look what happened with Luke Shaw at the start of the season with Malacia getting his place. there is no guarantee that any player fits what we thought before. And maybe Jadon Sancho doesn't suit what Erik ten Hag wants. I think he probably does, but we need a lot more from Sancho. And sometimes people say, well, what do you want from Sancho? And what I want from Sancho is what you get from Liverpool with Diaz. You know, what I want from Sancho is what Arsenal are getting with Martinelli. I want goals and I want assists. I want really good edge-of-the-seat performances. I don't want run-of-the-mill Dan James, because at the moment, he's not really offering any more than Dan James did, is he? And I know that's really harsh, but when people say, what do you want from Sancho? I want what we paid for. I want a player that when he gets the ball, you're like, on your edge of the seat, here we go. And at the moment, it's a bit flat. We need more from him. It might just take more to come out. If Ronaldo was able to stay patient, this is the perfect game for him to come off the bench, says Jordan. And Sancho doesn't really suit our current style of play, says Runa. He recycles the ball great and makes sure we keep the ball, but I'd agree he's lacking confidence. Thank you very much for the super chats coming in. And Munib says, no one considers that Sancho was unfairly moved to the left for Anthony. He's playmaker winger who is right-footed. He likes to drive to the byline and cut it back. Hard for a right footer on the left, says Munib. I mean, it would be a good excuse if he hadn't played from the left so many times for Dortmund. Akash says that Sancho is good technically and can press. He is also good at the ball and running at players. He suits the system but don't know what's wrong. I think the nice thing to say is that I wouldn't be making any changes at half-time, and I don't think anybody in the chat would be making any changes at half-time. It's been very rare over the last 3 years that you would be sat here at half-time saying, you know, we just need a little bit more, we're not going to make any changes. I don't think we can sub Sancho off because I don't think there's anybody on the bench that you can put on. You can't put Garnacho or Palestri on in a game like this. We've just got to hope that Sancho battles through it. I don't think there's a player that can come on and do it. I'm hoping that the second half is going to go like it did against Spurs. I feel exactly the same as I did against Spurs. That was 0-0 at half-time. We'd played really well. Rashford had missed a sitter, and you're like, oh, maybe Spurs with a half-time talk will be better. We came out, we got the goals, we won the game. So I'm hoping that's what's going to happen. I really do think a draw at this point would be disappointing. A loss would be disgraceful. We've got to go and win that game. Off that first half performance, we're shown we're better than them. We can't let them back in the game. We can't take the foot off the pedal. We've got to go and win that game in the second half. Delo gets an injury. Who are you bringing on, Mark? Also, can Fred change the game and counter their midfield overload, says Cameron. I don't know what you'd bring Fred on for, really. I really don't know what you'd bring him on for. I'm a bit confused as to what the point would be. I think that, you know, unless Eriksen's going to fade massively, why would you bother? Why would you bother? But we do need an out-and-out number 9. I'd like to see Sancho and Anthony swap wings even for 15 minutes. Well, we did see that against Spurs, Thomas, for a little bit, so we might see it again. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, bottom right-hand corner to do it. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. I'm getting people talk about Welbeck. That was that Ricky's suggestion that we get Welbeck up front? But we're currently only 500 subscribers away from 514,000. So please do subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Get involved with the United Stand. We'll obviously have the player ratings coming up for you very shortly as well. And the second half should be starting. My match reaction will be straight after this game where we go through the player ratings. And if you want more and you want to have your say, I will be live on the TalkSport YouTube channel at 8 o'clock and on national radio taking your calls, talking about the action today in the Premier League and probably about this second half. Do not take Bruno off, says VD. I don't think you would take him off. When people say, what do you want from Sancho? The simple answer is we want the Sancho Dortmund had. The reason we actually bought him, says Mike Thomas. That was a good change from Potter. United have time to respond now at half-time, says Akash. Fred for Sancho and move Fernandes to the wing, says Neil. I would, if you wanted to do that, Fred for Sancho, move Eriksen to Bruno, Bruno to Rashford, and Rashford to the left. Go with a false 9. That's what I would say. But, you know, what do I know? Sancho is the only player in this squad to put up 20 goals and 20 assists, says Zalo. Well, the players are coming out for the second half now. We've not spent any time talking about Chelsea. I mean, the stats are there. They sort of pulled it back a bit. I'm surprised with the possession at half-time because there was a point where it was 60% possession to us. So that substitution for Kovacic and going to a back four really did make a big difference in pulling that back to almost 50-50. but it's the passes that they've come back on as well. There was a time after about 20 minutes where we were nearly double the passes they've got. So they've definitely come back into the game with that substitution 10 minutes before half time. So it's going to be interesting to see what Chelsea are like in the second half, because at the end of the day, we've seen it time and time again. You have a really good first half, you don't score, it's 0-0, they sort themselves out, and then second half, they're the better team. So look, it's like starting again. My hope is that it was the same against Spurs and we were still the best team in the second half. Shanad says, I'm not defending Ronaldo, but the chances created and the amount of possession and pressing we're doing in the Chelsea half shows we need Ronaldo. Here come the United players for the second half. I mean, look, the refusal to be able to put a cross into the box is a bit annoying. We've had a few corners. Every one of them have been short. We've had a couple of times when Bruno could have whipped a cross in as well. So, yeah, look, we need an out-and-out number 9. I think Kovacic came on so they can play a short ball over the top to beat the press and then play forward. Fred could help us there, says Cameron Cotty. Thank you very much for the super chat. Players come out for the second half. I mean, one thing I will say about Rashford, he is a chance magnet. He does get chances. He just needs to start taking them. He's on a bit of a bad run at the moment. When was the last time he scored? Anyway, referee's about to start this second half. We move. We go. The timer's up and running. Garnacho is not on in the second half. Somebody was saying there. Time is running, yes. So, look, it's an intriguing as it was in the first minute. It's intriguing as it was yesterday. It's an intriguing game between two sides who are obviously very, very close in the league table at the moment, but also very, very similar with new managers trying to rebuild new eras of success. Potter will get more money, I think, than Ten Hag over the next few transfer windows, but, you know, I might not be right about that. Chelsea on the attack early on. Jorginho puts a little chip in and United win it, but they don't win the second ball. Yeah, these high balls to Rashford are just chips and gravy for Thiago Silva. Too easy. Which player would you pick in the midfield from both teams performance-wise? Casemiro and Kovacic, if I've got to pick one from each. Casemiro's unbelievable. He's having a fantastic game again. I'll explain it to you why if you haven't seen it visibly. Shame on you. But if you want me to tell you why Casemiro's having such a good game, I'll break it down. Break it down. So Casemiro's made 31 passes in the first half. Eriksen's made 32. He does as much work as Eriksen does on the ball, and then does absolutely loads of stuff off the ball. But Chelsea have started off better this second half. We don't want that to happen. Here's Eriksen. Which player would you pick? I've done that one from Abhishek. Thank you very much. Bruno's going to go with a long ball here. And Kepa's way off his line. Look at that from Kepa. Say what you like about Kepa, but he don't mind sweeper keeping, does he? Casemiro is epic and he gives us much more control. So it's very difficult to get at United's back four at the moment. You know, we don't invite a lot of pressure. What do you think of Patrick Schick? He's a good striker, Tira. I agree with you. We're back on the press again now. The effective thing about United's press as well is that it's a bit like Liverpool's press when it used to work. If you kick it long, we will win it back because we've got Varane. We've got Casemiro. They're both very good in the air. So the reason it's so effective at the moment is if teams can't play through us, they don't want to hit it long because they know we're going to win it back. And we do win it back because Varane will win it, Martinez will win it, Casemiro will win it. Opinion on Rashford, Mark says, I like Rashford. I just like to see him playing off the wing. That's my opinion. I mean, I think he will score goals up front, but I don't think he's ever going to be a prolific number 9, because a number 9 is not just about goals, is it? It's about link-up play. It's about physicality. I think he's too one-dimensional to play up front. He's got no physicality. He's all about explosive pace. Chelsea won a corner here. I thought it was a goal kick, but it's gone for a corner. I do like Anthony Luciano, yeah. Looks like he's going to bring Fred on. Fred's going to be coming on soon. Corner comes in. Let it go for a goal kick. Lovely stuff. Well, we must be carrying a knock. Must be carrying a knock. I can't see any other reason why we'd bring him on, unless it's going to be what we were talking about for Sancho. Can't see Eriksen coming off. Can't see Casemiro coming off. I can't see what we're doing. Thanks, Neil. Says he loves me. Could be tactical. I just hope it's not an injury. Casemiro looks fine. Eriksen looks fine. They'd be the two you'd be thinking about with Fred. Bruno looks fine. Anthony looks fine. It might be what we were all speaking about at half time. It could be that tactical to get Sancho off and play Bruno as a false 9. I mean, Eriksen does not look like he's in any trouble. Casemiro would be stupid to take off. So yeah, must be the false 9. And it's the right move to make as well. I'll tell you what, I'd be very surprised if it is that, but I'd be very excited that a manager can be so in tune with what you're thinking. We'll see. Here is Sancho. Oh, yeah, he's going to be going off. He's just played an absolutely terrible pass to Luke Shaw. Yeah, he's coming off. Sancho for Fred. It's the right move. It's the right move. I don't think anybody can criticise that. It's early, it's quick, and we've seen that from these two managers that a lot of people have got a lot of time for, Potter and Ten Hag. Both managers making really quick tactical decisions. You can't knock that. Potter's done it, getting Kovacic on to go to a back 4 because they were losing that midfield battle. And now Ten Hag has seen a weakness with Sancho, who had a very poor game again. And it looks like we're still going to keep Rashford central, though, and put Bruno to the left, maybe. I'd like to see how that settles down. Might not be as simple as keeping the system the same, but I think Bruno is going to go to the left. Cross into the box. Yeah, I can't knock that substitution from Eric. I think it's the right one. Here's Anthony. And Kepa's going to get hold of that. Ten Hag is playing chess, and I love it, says Jono. Have a stretch. Please do subscribe to the channel, bottom right-hand corner. Is no option from the bench going to be an issue, says Cohen. I find it really interesting how the Manchester United squad ebbs and flows. Like, you know, it's only a few weeks ago that McTominay was playing well and keeping Casemiro out of the team, and now look at McTominay. He's probably the 5th choice midfielder now. You know, Fred's getting on as the number 1 sub ahead of McTominay. So it's just form, it's rotation, isn't it? Sancho needs to play domestic cups for confidence, as Manchester United. Thanks for the super chat, pal. That was a good change from Potter. United have time to respond at half time, says Akash. I think that's an old super chat, to be fair, but Akash, you've had a double shout out. Nice ball into Rashford. Lay it off. Lay it off. Lay it off. Bruno, stop shouting at the ref and shout at Rashford. He should have laid that off ages ago. Feel like the wingers don't take anyone on, says Anil. Hi Mark, happy Ten Hag is our manager. His class has said, yeah, we've got to get this. We just got to get over the line here. I knew it was going to be a tough game. We just got to get over the line. The performance justifies it. Still a long way to go. I think Fred and Bruno will both interchange that left-hand side to Salim. I don't think you can. Look. Would Solskjaer do something like this? I mean, I feel embarrassed even mentioning the word Solskjaer in comparison to Ten Hag, but this is our football. We've spent so many years moaning about this. Why can't we make changes quickly? Why can't we make tactical changes? Why do we always pick the favourites? And you know, I think Ten Hag got the team selection correct, playing Eriksen instead of Fred. But I also think that the inclusion of Fred at the start of the second half is exactly the right thing to do. Because Sancho's not playing well and you know you've got a player on the bench who is. So Max says Rashford needs to come off. We ain't got anyone he can come off for, mate. Did you see McTominay collab with Good Golf on YouTube? Very much demonstrates his mindset and arrogance. Whether that be good or bad is debatable, says Blue. No, I didn't. DJ says we're not clinical in the box. It's frustrating. Oh, hold on. They're down the left-hand side here and there's a player down. Looks like it's Varane. He's not up yet. We don't want to lose Varane. He's down injured. Kick it out, Bruno. Kick it out. Why is he not kicking it out? He's giving the foul. Oh no. This don't look good. I think he knows Varane, this might be his World Cup gone. Shit. It's innocuous. It's so innocuous. This does not look good for Varane. It's like it's a nothing thing, but he's had so many injuries. You just think he knows. Oh, for fuck's sake. No, he knows this is not good for Varane. He's staying down. The players are all around him. Oh, for fuck's sake. Maguire's drooling, says somebody. Well, it's funny how football works, isn't it? Lindelof's definitely coming on. I mean, Varane's got his... He can't even move. I don't know what it is. I think it's probably knee or ankle. It's hard to tell what he's done because it just doesn't look that bad. But this is why Real sold him, says Jamie. He's like that. He's been like that for about 3 minutes. We all moan about Martial. I love Varane, but he's also made of glass, says Ryan Taylor. You can't compare Martial to Varane. He's got his eyes, he's got his head covered up. It's sad to see. I think he knows he's out of the World Cup. That's what it is. Well, Lindelof comes on. He's walking, though. It's a tough one. It's a tough one because he is walking, but I think when you get to that age, you know your body, and it looks like he's almost crying. So, I mean, he's not done his knee. I don't think he's done his ankle. I think it's a groin. It might be a groin. A lot of people in the chat quite rightly saying, well, he is walking. I think it's his... At that age, he'll have had that many things, he'll know what he's done. That's the thing. And I think he knows 100% what he's done, and he probably knows the maths. And it's hard to tell, though, because he is walking. It could be... I doubt it's hamstring. I doubt it's serious knee injury. It's hard to tell. Hard to tell. I don't think it's his ACL, Stevie, because he's walking too freely. But Lindelof comes on. How's it going to impact Manchester United now, though? I mean, you lose Varane. Different story. We've seen that before. He knows he's out the World Cup. That's why he's crying, says Ryan. Cornelius says it's his knee. Could be his calf. I don't think it's his ACL, Nathan. If anybody does an ACL, doesn't start walking along like that, trust me, be on a bloody stretcher. He's just talking to Ten Hag, and I think he's just telling him he knows what it is. I don't think we'll see him in a United shirt before Christmas, unfortunately. It's such a shame because Martinez and Varane, they're so good. But anyway, we've got a game to play here. Fred, lovely ball out to Ant. No, it's a bit behind him. Into Ericsson. Fred goes for the shot. Oscar's right. I feel it is a bit of a game changer because I just think Varane and Martinez, you're comparing them to some of the best centre-back pairings in the league. With all due respect, Martinez and Maguire or Martinez and Lindelof, it's vulnerable. We've seen how good Martinez and Varane is. It's bloody brilliant. But we know it's fragile because we know that Varane picked up a lot of injuries last year. You've got a world-class centre-back who is a bit injury-prone. And when you lose him, you go to Maguire and Lindelof. I'm glad it's Lindelof and not Maguire, says Sean. He's in tears, poor guy. I don't think he's making it to the World Cup. This isn't good for us or France, and we wish him a speedy recovery, says Jack. You know what? The thing is, I think we all knew it was going to happen at some point. We all knew it was going to happen, that Varane can't play that many games. That's why I always said about Maguire, like, you will get your chance because it's going to come from injury. But I don't think there's any hope for Varane. I think the way he went down, and they're always the worst injuries as well. The worst injuries are always the one where you go, oh, why is he down? Because something's gone wrong in the leg. That, you know, you can get a bad injury from a tackle. We saw it with Luke Shaw. But the bad injuries when they go down and stay down tend to be because you've turned or hyperextended or pulled a hamstring or something. And the fact that he went down and, you know, couldn't show his eyes for ages. People go on Maguire, but Lindelof, worst defender we have had for years, says Taff. I don't think there's much between Lindelof and Maguire, really. I think Ten Hag will prefer Maguire. But shouldn't Martinez be the one crying? He has to play with Lindelof or Maguire. Yeah, imagine Martinez. The thing is, though, you can already see that Varane, losing Varane has changed us massively. I think Chelsea smell blood. This is why I keep saying we need to buy a centre-back, because if Varane does keep getting injured or whatever, you've got to pick Lindelof or Maguire. And I'm sorry, Lindelof and Maguire ain't Varane and Martinez. So we need to go and buy a centre-back. You can't build off your defence if it's not strong. And you're only as strong as your weakest link. And it's a big drop-off. It's like losing Martinez as well. Varane and Lindelof would not be anywhere near as good as Varane and Martinez. So it will have an impact on us. Shouldn't Martinez be the one who have done that one? That's probably about 21 points gone instantly, says Biyakov. It has left a cloud over the performance, and that's why you need squad depth. Well done, Martinez. That's why you need squad depth. I don't think the substitution of Sancho's really worked massively either. The balance has gone, isn't it? The depth is such a major issue. 25 minutes to go, and I feel that Chelsea are starting to push us back a little bit here. Maybe we're a bit tired. Odds on it being precautionary, says Mo. Mo, I don't think it's going to be precautionary, because I think Varane was in tears. So that's... And I think he's had enough injuries to know what's a bad one. Do you think it makes the team weak mentally with these kind of injuries, says Shiam? Look, I'd put it like this. We've all played football, right? Whether you're playing five-a-side or you're playing at lunchtime at school and your best player's got to go and do a detention and you've got to play without him. It's exactly like that. At the highest level, at the lowest level. When you lose a player that makes you really good, mentally, of course, it plays on your mind. They will know now Lindelof ain't as good as Varane, and they'll be worried. And they might just be a little bit more cautious. Anthony and Delo not interplaying or communicating well with each other, says Newlin. Would love Vardiel in January as backup, but don't think it will happen, says Ryan. Well, he's off to Chelsea, isn't he? Chelsea are just collecting centre-backs. Bruno off the left isn't working, AK. I'd put Rashford off the left. Play Bruno false 9. Bruno comes central. Oh, nearly there. You see, that's why you want Bruno central. Here's Anthony. Into Delo. Ericsson with the little flick. No one's there. Wow, 43 months is crazy. Savage, shout out to you. He's been a member for 43 months. How the time flies. Thanks for your support, pal. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Thing is, look at Chelsea. They're playing a front three as well. You can do that. Look at that. Mount's on Casemiro, Sterling's on Lindelof, and Aubameyang's on Varane. Martinez. We can go man for man when we're playing with Varane, but can we go man to man when we're man for man when we're playing with Lindelof? Good tackle by Casemiro there. Mount. Good tackle, Martinez. Fred loses it. And we win it back. Chilwell, come on. Might be something on the break, though. Could be something on the break here. I do feel like we've given up the possession second half. I don't know what the stats are looking like. Give me a shout when they go on the screen. But we might be setting ourselves up as a little bit counter-attack now. I think we should have been winning the game in the first half. Second half, there's a lot going against us, isn't there? I think the Sancho sub had to happen, but I think putting Bruno to the left was a mistake. I think Rashford should have gone to the left to exploit Azpilicueta's lack of pace. Play Bruno as a false 9. To me, it looks like we're playing Sancho. We're playing Rashford through the middle, hoping that he's just going to get a long ball. Put him off the left, get him involved. Timber in January for cover. What's your thoughts, says Daniel? I'd like to think that, but I don't think we'll do it. I think we need to slow things down, get comfortable on the ball again, says Anthony. And Lindelof has not had half as many stinkers as Maguire. Let's hope coaching will help Victor improve, says Toho. This is where you don't want to get caught. Lindelof up against Sterling. He'll go at him. Good tackle, Casemiro. Got the ball. Min, thank you very much for the super chat there. Lindelof, we've done that one from Toho. Game is getting quite stretched now. That's a bad ball by Casemiro. Well intercepted by Shaw. 50-50s are there to be won. Are we looking a bit tired? Front three have let us down a bit tonight, you know. Anthony, Rashford, Sancho, Bruno now on the left. They've let us down a little bit. I think the defence and the midfield have worked hard, but creativity's been a little bit lacking. I just worry about Chelsea here. They're building up momentum without really building any big chances, but it only takes one. This is what happens when the partnership is broken up. High line goes deep and the opposition has more space to play. Yeah, the whole game plan has gone out the window, let's be honest. Right, might have an update for you here. "20 minutes to go. Man of the match so far," says Marcus. Casemiro, Martinez. One of those two for me. Eriksen's been decent. Fullbacks have been decent. Yeah. We're talking about the back five again, aren't we, really? I thought Varane was playing very well until he got injured. Leverkusen kept Diaby and Schick in the summer, but 9 points from 11 games. Some stars might push a move if new coach Xavi Alonso doesn't make top 6 with them, says UEFA. Eriksen's been a bit quiet, says Salim. It's a very stop-start game at the moment. Dan says we don't think we'll win this now. I mean, I don't like to give up when we played well, but where we were at half time is not where we are halfway through the second half. And I'm feeling that a point at this point. Well, I wouldn't take a point at this point. Let's hang in there. But I think if we're going to win it, we're going to have to do it on the break. I think Chelsea are building up more momentum now. I mean, look at that. Basically 50-50 on possession. Basically the same on passes, more or less. Free header there for Chalobah on the back post. Heads it over. Cody Gakpo is absolutely needed in this team, either on the wing or as a striker. Both Rashford and Sancho ain't good enough. Yeah, I mean, so far it's just not been a very good game for Rashford, has it? I mean, Sancho will take the headlines because he's been a lot worse. But as I said, as a striker, he's got the PR of Messi, but he's got the finishing of Missy, Rashford. It's just, it's not working for him, is it? 4 games in a row now where he's had big chances and he hasn't scored. And look, if Martial's not going to be fit anytime soon, you can see why Pulisic has come on for Aubameyang. You can see why Ronaldo might be back involved next week against Sheriff. But I think Rashford needs to go to the left. Sure, what? Wish we had Ronaldo on the bench, says Brian. No, well, he shouldn't be on the bench, should he? You can't have him on the bench. It's Ronaldo's fault he's not on the bench. Rashford is not a striker. We need one in January. As for tonight, a draw is good, but a win would be fantastic, says Mohammed. And that tactical change by Potter has changed the game. We're on the back foot since then, before the Varane injury, says Rory. Look, Potter's a good manager. Chelsea will end up being a good team. How good, I don't know. I don't know whether they can win titles or Champions League, but he is a good manager. I don't know why we haven't just put Rashford to the wing. I think the reason he's not put Rashford on the wing is he's waiting for that ball over the top. I think we look a bit tired as well. Put a lot of effort into the Spurs game. And put a lot of effort into the first half. I love the way Casemiro moves the ball quickly. I know he's giving the ball away there, but he does look to move the ball quickly. I don't know why Loftus-Cheek gets games for Chelsea, I don't see what he's all about. Here's Bruno, goes for a shot, and a corner, wins a corner. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Freddie's not Brazilian, he's from Real, says Maguire's Slab. Hey, the Harry Maguire comeback's coming. 5 points out of 9 is not bad, says Barth. I wanted 7. 2 wins and a draw from Newcastle, Spurs and Chelsea. Can still happen. Here's the corner. Not a very good one. Eriksen doesn't even beat the first man. Nice flick by Eriksen. Bruno, he's not right-footed. He's not left-footed. He lips it into Eriksen and he's offside. Loftus-Cheek is class, says Mark. Holder. And Freddie's not Brazilian. I've done that one. Player ratings are probably open. I'll check for you now. Yeah, they are. I'll get the link in the description for you. Or you can go to theunitedstand.com. Here's Luke Shaw. Late winner would be a fantastic... Bruno, hit it! Oh, come on. We're not playing rugby. He snatched at that. What's Bruno's performance been like tonight? I think it started off pretty good in the first half. Second half was going to bring Broha on here. Broha's coming on for Chelsea. Obviously, United don't have any attacking subs to make, so we can't really shift things up here. We go with what we've got. "13 minutes to go. Sterling comes off. Broha comes on. Weird ball that by Luke Shaw. Delo does what he can. Ericsson. Anthony's been very quiet the last 20 minutes. Could do with a moment from him. Nice ball into Ericsson. Come on. Oh. Well, he's going to make a couple of subs here. McTominay and Alanga coming on. She knows she's on the camera behind Eric Ten Hag's head. You can tell she does. Look at her pretending like she doesn't. She knows. She knows she's on the camera. Either that or she's very bored. McTominay is coming on and Alanga's coming on. Ericsson off for McTominay. Alanga for Anthony probably. Rashford. Well, I think his subs have been pretty much spot on. Ten minutes to go, you take off your striker. I mean, I just hope we don't get the chance that Rashford would have scored. Bruno was not offside. The replay showed Chilwell played him on. Even the commentators say the ref just stole our attack in Chelsea's half. It says SK. Doesn't surprise me. Garnacho starved again. 10 minutes to go here. Remember, I'm on Talk Sport tonight at 8 o'clock as well. I'm doing my match reaction and then I'm going to go straight on to Talk Sport, the Mark Goldbridge show. So Chelsea fans, Liverpool fans, Man United fans, if you want to call in and have your say, get involved with the show. Some big results today. Forest beating Liverpool, but as happens a lot between Man United and Chelsea, a lot of people said they fancied a draw. Can we get a late winner? I'd love a late winner. Can we get a late winner? Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Actually, I had a pie. Chunka Wunks is so good for Chelsea. He gets knocked down but gets up again, says Brian. Is this the lad they got from Villa? Can't understand Rashford looking for wage increase. It's crazy, says Tom. Needs to get back on the left wing, Marcus Rashford. The player ratings will be very interesting. You know, I think at half time we were on for loads and then loads of good scores, and I think it's fell away again to. I think the players that have come out of this game across 90 minutes well are Shaw, Martinez, Varane before he got injured, Delo, Casemiro. I mean, De Gea's had nothing to do. It's it, Casemiro. Oh, he's done all right. It's there to be won, you know. Scooby-Doo's in the box. Get some crosses in the box. Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo. Nice ball out wide. Chelsea now on the attack. Watch out for Mason Mount. He's not marked. Don't. Running at Martinez. What a prat. That was destined to fail. Broha. More like Prater. He tried to take on Martinez. You've got to be watching this game to see it. What a prat. What a prat. He's brave. Braver. Well, the good thing for United is we've got some really winnable games coming up, haven't we? Haven't we got... Who we got next? We've got West Ham, Fulham and Villa. So hopefully, you know, the bare minimum we get a point. And I think after Christmas, after Christmas, we've got Forest, Wolves, and Bournemouth. So next 6 games, hopefully, we'll get some points. But it's a shame. The Varane thing's really ruined my mood. Oh my God. You're having a fucking laugh. Ref's given a penalty, mate. He's given a penalty, mate. It's Scooby-Doo. You bet. What are you on about here? Aspilicueta wants a fight. He's got his chest out like he's got a bra on. What's going on? Never. You're having a bloody laugh. If that's a penalty, you're having a laugh. That happens 10 times a game, every bloody game. You can't give a penalty for that. You can't give a penalty for that, you twat. You can't have a penalty for that. You cannot give a penalty for that. It happens 10 times a game. Every game. Disgusting. Disgusting referee. Absolute fucking joke. That's been happening for years. Years and years and years. He's just fucked up the whole fucking game of football. This idiot has just fucked up the game of football because everybody has to have a penalty now. Everybody has to have a penalty 3 or 4 times a game. You can't give a penalty for grabbing on in the box. Yes, it's a foul, but it happens all the time. It literally happens 10 times a game. Every corner. You can't give a fucking penalty for that. You've just rewritten the rules, you knobhead. Knobhead. Oh my God. The blue tinted glasses are going to say it's a penalty. But I'm telling you now, tomorrow at Southampton, Gabriel's going to do it to a Southampton striker. And at the other end, the centre-back's going to do it against Jesus. It happens every fucking game. You cannot give a penalty in a game like this for that. Bloody ridiculous. Absolute scam. Absolute fucking joke. Oh, people are saying it's a penalty. Do you watch football? Do you watch football? Do you watch football? How many times does that happen and a penalty not get given? World Cups, FA Cups, Champions Leagues. It doesn't get given. Because if you give it, you have to give about 4 or 5 every game. Absolute joke. And Jorginho scores. Fucking have them. Have them. Stuart Prattwell. What a dickhead. What an absolute idiot. That is a scam. An absolute fucking scam. I hope we get a corner and we get a penalty because that will happen at the other end. Absolute disgrace of a decision. I see that every bloody game I watch 10 times a game. Every corner I see it. Every corner I see that happen. Bollocks. I tell you what, get me on That's Football tomorrow because I'm going to call a penalty out every time it happens. And if they don't fucking give it, knobhead. Absolute knobhead. I've never been so pissed off in my life. This is up there with Carrick. This happened at Chelsea before. Ball goes a bloody mile and hits him on the arm. Penalty. Right at the end of the game. That is a fucking joke. I don't care whether you're a Liverpool fan, a Chelsea fan, an Arsenal fan. That is a joke. If you do not watch football, if you haven't seen that happen 10 times a game from a corner. Oh, fucking hell. I'm disgusted by that. I'm disgusted by it. Of course it's a foul. I know it's a foul. But they don't get given because it happens all the time. Oh, for fuck's sake. I've just seen it back on the telly. It's still not a penalty for me. All I'm going to say is I want to see one in every bloody game for every one of those from now on. Every match, I want to see a penalty for that. If that's a penalty, I want to see it in every game from now on. And I'll tell you what, tomorrow, those tackles will happen and there won't be a penalty. Mark, if we didn't get the Newcastle penalty, which was made way more clear and obvious, and then that gets given, very weird. Need accountability from refs, says Nickett. Clear penalty, Mark. McTominay should have never come on in the first place. He's once again cost us points, says Luke. I've had it with these decisions against us every game this season, says Nick. They are hold on to, but not dragged onto the floor when they're winning the header. He's in front of Scooby-Doo, who wins the header, so he would have won it, says Dusk. Shell says you can't have your arms around people that long. Is that your first game watching a football match, Shell? I hope you've enjoyed it. Told you, no Ronaldo, no par. I'm not talking about Ronaldo, cold blood. We've lost this game because of the Varane injury and not taking our chances. Football, eh? Football, eh? Everyone just fall down as soon as you're around the penalty area. I want to see United players. I want to see Arsenal players tomorrow. If you've got a corner and someone's stood near you, go down. It's penalty from now on. Pratwell's rewrote the rules. Clear dive, clear penalty. The rules might need revisiting, says Natalie. Faraz says you can't hold on to a player. That means all defenders can hold down all the strikers for every cut. Do you watch football, mate? Or have you just tuned in for a laugh on a Saturday night? Do you watch football? Because you're exposing yourself as not watching football. I'm telling you now that centre-backs grab hold of people in the box every corner 3 or 4 times a game. I don't know what games you watch, but that happens all the time, mate. And they don't get given as penalties until now. Ref has ruined the game, but I'm still pleased with the performance. If we can get a proper striker and keep dominating the ball, we'll win more games. Oh, I'm not happy. I'm not. Who are we, Andrew? Stoke? I want to win. Chelsea are now 6 points ahead of us. Massive win for Chelsea. Fuck it, I ain't taking we've done all right for 45 minutes. Who are we? Fuck that. Go on, Alanga. Justice, jam on toast. Go on, Delo. Go on, then. Oh, fuck off. Match reaction, links in the description for player ratings. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average, straight after this. And I tell you what, talk sport at 8 o'clock. Get your calls in. You can have a pop if you want, Chelsea fans, Man United fans. Give us your thoughts. Yes! Get in! Get in! Have some of that! Have some of that! 1-1! Get in! It's gone in! Come on then! Come on! That's justice! What time's it, Mr. Wolf? It's dinner time! Get in! 1-1! Casemiro! 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 Come on then! Have some of that! Have some of that! Have some of that! Get in! Have that! Have that! Justice jam on toast! Love it! 1-1. Casemiro with the header. Ball's over the line. Keeper's made. I thought Kepa had made a great save. What a header by Casemiro. He leaps like a salmon. Neck muscles like a giraffe. Kepa nearly pulls off a great save. But that ball's over the line. Get in. 1-1. What a header. Oosh. Kepa nearly pulls off a great save. Yeah, it's over the line, mate. Get in. What a point. What a point. Urgh, that's justice, that is. That's bloody justice. That's the footballing gods listening to me and going, he's right. You don't get bloody penalties for grabbing on in the box. Get in. 1-1. Have it. Have it. God, my heart's going like the clappers now. Get in with your bloody penalty bollocks. You're not laughing now, are you? You thought it was bloody Christmas. You thought bloody Pratwell was handing out 3 points. Have some of that in your pipe and smoke it. Burton. Fucking United scoring a legitimate goal. What does that feel like? Instead of being handed them from dodgy referees. Get in. Casemiro, my man of the match again. Number 1 in the chart show. Oh, what a player. What a player. Get in. Get in. Get in. Bloody brilliant. Justice. That fucking did not deserve to be a loss for United. Never in a million years did we deserve to lose that. No, no, no. Finishes in a draw. We'll take that. We'll take that. We will take that. Manchester United draw the game 0-0. 1-1. Oh, I don't know what I'm on about. I don't know what I'm on about. But Manchester United have won it. And it's 1-1. GDS. It's not over the line. It is over the line. Fucking hell, look at that. There it goes. GDS. Oh, look at that. Look at the white bits. Look at the white bits. It's over the line. It's Casemiro. And it's Manchester United who win the game 1-1. I mean, they draw the game 1-1. It feels like a win. It feels like Injustice was going to be the winner. But Justice came through with a fantastic header and pounced to get it over the line. And Manchester United have a deserved point, which is deserved in this game of football. Magnificent stuff. Absolutely magnificent stuff. Love it. Absolutely love it. Right. I will see you on the player ratings. I'm going to be over there in a minute. Mark every player out of 10. 6 being the average. Don't forget, match reaction. I'll be there. And then straight after that, I'm on TalkSport YouTube taking your calls. I'll see you on the match reaction in a minute.